Good evening and welcome back to Beacon, our alien RPG live play here, sponsored by our good friends over at Demiplane and brought to you by the Streampunks and QueueTimes. Well, that's a mouthful. I usually don't say it all that much off the top, but here we are. We are back here for episode 4 as we creep ever closer to our Halloween episode, which Sam is going to absolutely enjoy thoroughly. But before we get to all of that goodness, we're going to go ahead and just do some quick announcements before we jump into tonight's chapter. First of all, big thank you, as always, to Demiplane for sponsoring the Streampunks and their endeavor to tell these stories. You can get more information on the Alien Nexus. You'll be seeing some links popping up in chat, so definitely check it out. If you haven't seen it yet, Demiplane has started to release more content on their platform, one of them being Avatar: The Last Airbender for the digital, I think it was a digital reward for the Kickstarter backers. That's going to be coming available at some point here soon. Also, Alien Heart of Darkness and the Colonial Marines Guide is going to be coming available pretty soon. It is available for pre-order right now on the Demiplane site. Also want to point out real quick before I move on that Demiplane had a really cool teaser video today about the vampire character tools, which are coming up in 2023. So if you guys have enjoyed playing Dungeons & Dragons on D&D Beyond because of how great it is to be able to make characters and roll dice, get ready because you're going to be able to do that on D&D Beyond with every other game, including Vampire the Masquerade, you're definitely gonna be able to do that with Aliens, and of course Mutant Year Zero. They've got Pathfinder, of course, is coming up, so just stay tuned if you're looking for those games that you've been eager for. A great place to get all of that content in one spot for your character sheets and your dice rolls for the game. Check it out, highly recommended. Plus it supports the Streampunks, so bonus. That is, let's see, we don't have any big events. The year is finally starting to wind down a little bit for the Streampunks. We have a lot going on behind the scenes, more on that some other time. But for right now, so far as I know, Streampunks does not have any big announcements that we are prepared to share just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to anybody else who has any announcements tonight. Anything anybody wants to pitch or say or anything? Yes, Noir.
Yeah. So I just recorded the first episode of a new podcast that I'm doing with my sibling, Joy, called Dungeons and Dragons, where we talk about just about everything in the nerdy space, and it's she described it as your weekly geeky source with a healthy dose of accountability. So please check it out. It's on all the podcast places.
Awesome. Okay. Sounds good. Caitlin.
Yes, hello. So I've talked about it a bunch. The week is finally here. Thin Places Radio, the tiny cast that I am producing, launches on Friday, 4 a.m. Central Time, because that's what the host wanted. So it is a supernatural and sentimental kind of call-in advice show. You can actually call in and you can actually leave a voicemail, and the host may write you a response. The only big update, besides the fact that it is Friday so soon, is that we have now figured out a way where outside of the U.S. you can leave us a voice memo. Via Anchor, so you don't have to fake a phone number if you felt really, really inspired to leave a voicemail. So if you go to Twitter, Thin Places Radio, there is a thread. I think it should be the most recent tweet. Has how to leave a voicemail if you are an international caller looking for some supernatural advice. Keep an eye out. It's so cool. It's such a fun show, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it. So.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Caitlin. Elisa, did you have anything you wanted to announce today? Did you have anything aside from just how amazing I am?
No.
Just that?
Not that. Just
No. We're not allowed to dismember another living human being with our words like that live, Elisa.
Sorry, I was just playing a bard. I gotta shake the bardness out.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Okay. No, I don't have any new updates. Just the one from a couple weeks ago about our show, which we're putting together, underway. No, I don't think I have anything else I can announce at this juncture.
Yeah, we're in that critical moment where we have so much in development right now, but we do not have the ability to announce just yet. So
maybe just cross your fingers for me, everyone, because I get news about something tonight. Maybe.
Crossing.
That's it.
They are crossed. Okay. Does anybody else have anything that they'd like to announce before we move forward? Yes, Sam.
an error was made within the calendar. I, on behalf of Stream Punks, but actually mostly just on behalf of myself, apologize for the error. That was the month of October. Why did we allow this month to exist on the calendar at all? Why did we put things in it? And why did we decide that it's going to be a concentrated month of scary times and it's 1/12 of the whole year? My announcement is that October was a mistake.
And that you're excited that it was a mistake?
Androids don't take stress. Androids don't take stress. Androids
Let's
don't
go
take
ahead
stress.
and jump into tonight's episode of Beacon. Once again, you all find yourselves waking up from hypersleep. Of course, it's nothing like the journey that it was getting to the station that is Beacon out near the frontier. The trip out here has taken about 14 days, dramatically shorter than your trip from your colonies or from Earth that you took getting across known space to Beacon, which is on the edges of the United Americas territories here in the northern quadrant, I suppose, of explored space. Spineward, as they might say. You are all experiencing what people in the space trucking industry have experienced for over 85 plus years, which is one of these old cryo bays, the old pods slowly raising above your head. It's not more or less comfortable than any other time you've been in hypersleep, but you're definitely sleeping vintage. The cryo bay, or the hypersleep vault as it is called, as it is called on the Ilios, is, for visual references, the exact same one that you saw in the very first Alien movie. They also flew an 88G Bison. So you all find yourselves in these pods, sort of in a star pattern, as it were, all connected to a central console that monitors, mother monitors all the life support and whatnot. The only person that has been moving around the ship this entire time, for the 14 days that you have all been in hypersleep, has been Isaac. Isaac, I'm curious, before we get into this any further, do you think Isaac's read any books? Has Isaac gotten through? How many of the books has Isaac gotten through, do you think?
Isaac read as many books as they could allowed per the captain's request. And I think a good number of those books simply take more time to speak aloud than there was time allotted, because we got some pretty long boys on that list. Hemingway, not known for short works. largely. So I think we probably have maybe 2 books left, I'd say, that we haven't read.
Isaac, Mother informs you that the crew is now waking from their hypersleep as per scheduled. Mother has also warned you that you are about 12 hours out from arriving at the destination and that she has switched to sublight engines.
Excellent. I'll take the card from the slot, and I will go down to the base to give it back to the captain.
Okay. One by one, all of you are starting to come about. Some of you are experiencing that mild hangover from waking up from hypersleep. Thankfully, it's mostly temporary, and it's not as vicious, obviously. 14 days is a much more forgiving time to be sleeping. So there's a bit of wincing. You can hear O'Donnell as he's sort of stirring up and goes, okay. As he sits up slowly in his hyperpod and just doesn't open his eyes yet. He kind of just starts to slowly crack open his eyelids to let the light in.
Morning, Starshine.
How do you sleep?
Oh, excellent. It's great. It's amazing. Every time. Just a dream. Oh, boy. And Tig's gonna, like, crawl out of her pod, just going, alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. Alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. We're gonna go just bend down, put her boots on, and gotta start moving, or else it never starts to pass, so she's just gonna kind of get going.
Martha, as you hear Tig repeating this mantra over and over, it just takes you right back to basic. You remember the kids saying that mantra to get themselves up and going in the morning before the inevitable shouting fest began.
Yeah, Martha just kind of wakes up, pops up out of the hypersleep chamber, and is putting her boots on. Obviously, like, physically, visibly groggy, but Martha just kind of moves through the wake-up process more smoothly. She doesn't force herself open, like eyes open. And it's almost as if you were to watch her for 10 minutes, it's like the evolution people, like the crouch down and then just slowly becoming upright until she's fully awake.
Okay. How's Albrecht handling that?
There is a very loud groan. He's not handling it well. This is his second time now doing this, and you just hear, oh, why's it gotta be so bad on my knees? Good morning, or good, good wake up, good
wake up indeed.
Good wake up, everybody. How we all doing?
Go wake up. You know, the best thing to get your knees back from hypersleep is to just walk around.
I was hoping it would have been a nap. All right. Well, is everybody feeling well? Does anybody need to be looked over? Anybody need anything? I should put pants on.
Coffee. Coffee and pants. Order of the day. Coffee and pants.
Preferably pants before the coffee if you slip.
I've got priorities.
The pants could protect you if you drop your coffee on yourself.
It's cold. I'm putting on pants. Don't you worry. Isaac, you round the corner just in time to see. You can hear the banter of the crew as you're moving down the darkened corridor. The lights are starting to flicker on. The large doors that were mostly sealed for the majority of the trip have started to open up again. The doors, of course, being sealed only when you wish them to be. Mother accommodates you anytime you want to gain access to any area of the ship. At this particular point, the doors just slide open with this deep bass of a hum, and as you round the corner, you can see that this room is very well lit, and they are starting to come about, slowly crawling out of their stasis pods. O'Donnell is actually the first to see you, and he goes, "Hey, Isaac! How are we doing? Everything good? Are we on fire? Are we crashing? Everything's fine?
We are not on fire. We are not crashing. I don't think. Are any of you crashing? I'm not crashing.
Doc might be crashing.
I'm standing strong. Don't mind the wobbliness of my knees.
Oh. But it looks unstable. Are you alright? Can I get you something?
Oh, 20 years back, that's what I could use. But I'll be all right. It's just a little
I don't know
bit-
the current model of astrophysics accommodates that. I'm sorry.
That's a little time travel joke. I like that. How are you during our little nap? Did you get some good reading in?
Yes, many of the books were quite excellent.
Good. Well, I hope you have a favorite, and I can't wait to hear what you think of 'em.
I was asked to do a book report, but not a book report.
I will not go into details about what that means.
I thought maybe the coffee was supposed to already be on. Did I wait too long? Did I do coffee wrong?
You're doing everything just right. Don't worry.
Here's your card to be in charge again. Please be in charge again. Thank you, Captain.
Oh, I thought that was part of a nightmare I was having. Okay, yes, Captain again. Mother, I'll take control again. How close are we to the settlement?
12 hours.
All right, well, I suppose.
11 hours and 53 minutes.
All right, well, I'm sure these needs of mine will be right as rain by the time we get there. We'll meet these people, give them all the help they need, and we'll be out in a jiffy. No problems that I can foresee.
Milk run.
Milk run, right?
I don't like how you said that, son.
O'Donnell looks over at you and says, look, I don't know anything anybody else doesn't know. It's just that this used to be the frontier. This is where all the colony wars happened.
You gotta manifest what you want in life sometimes, you know? I'm manifesting a milk run, as you said. No, nothing go wrong when you go get milk.
I'm manifesting cigarettes right now.
I'm manifesting breakfast. Feels very
That's-
doable.
I could
That's
definitely
healthy.
go for some breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got rations. What's kind of the what's the vibe? What kind of things do we get on?
Oh,
on
yeah, no.
Helios?
Yeah, you get the standard fare of basically food packs that are found on all of these vessels.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let's
standard.
rehydrate some stuff. Let's go.
Yeah, it is sort of the standard fare that you can find. The one perk they say about some of these ships, especially those who are at least, in your case, a subsidiary of Weyland Yutani, is they do keep things in a ready supply of coffee. There is that. And it will shake off any sleepiness that you're having. But yeah, food, bug juice, coffee, it's all waiting for you in the galley.
You know, my boy used to tell me that the chili mac are the best MREs to eat.
Oh, I love the chili mac. So good.
Well, I think after that bit of travel, we deserve some. Let's see if we can find it.
That sounds like a perfect dessert, Doc. Let's do it. I mean, not dessert, breakfast. Sorry, I'm just
You can have
waking
it.
up.
You can have it for dessert. You have your coffee for breakfast, and then your chili mac for dessert.
I prefer bug juice to coffee.
Fair enough.
Hot bug juice. Now let me tell you.
That
On a
is-
According
cold
to-
space morning.
According to the Demiplane and Alien Nexus, the prefab meals, which are available aboard starships, including pastas, cereals, freeze-dried vegetables, stews, meatloaf, and something resembling cornbread, are all available to you. Cornbread is an ongoing joke in the Alien universe. It started with the sequel Aliens, and it has not let up. Because the cornbread resembles cornbread.
Well, now I'm making cornbread, everybody. So let's-
Not gonna lie, it is making me a little hungry for good buttered cornbread.
Is there an ingredient list on the cornbread package, or does it just say
It just says mostly cornbread.
mostly?
It
cornbread?
just says cornbread in quotes.
Yikes! Yikes!
Yeah. There's a great line in Aliens Fireteam Elite where one of the equipment guy, one of the guys that sets you up with your equipment, says he's got a bunch of prefab cornbread in the back. Nobody eats that shit. So one by one, you all filter into the galley. O'Donnell does manage to get his pants on. He just throws his shirt over his shoulder as he makes his way barefoot down the corridor, kind of like tiptoeing like somebody who has forgotten that the deck plates are going to be cold when he gets up, but he manages. Galley doors open. You take the sharp left and then again the sharp right as you move into the galleyway. The galley lighting up as you see that very comfortable large communal table that is just sitting off to the side, as well as all of the pantries and closets that are available to you all that has fully stocked foods. And indeed, O'Donnell finds the coffee. Also, O'Donnell, as he opens up one of the pantries, you see him pulling out the coffee and just goes, "Oh, this manifesting thing is working really, really good. Really, really well right now."
See, now all we have to do is just continue manifesting, not end up in any conflicts, and we'll be right as rain.
Right as rain, right as rain.
Martha goes for the bug juice and the chili mac.
Okay.
I
Start
think Tig
heating
has
up
not
your
heard of
prefab
a
meals.
bug juice hot, and I think we'll join you in partaking in that particular
Bug
breakfast
juice,
tradition.
hot.
Hot bug juice.
I'm gonna leave the bug juice to y'all and just partake of this here coffee.
Okay. All
I
right.
imagine bug juice tastes like chicken bone broth, if anyone has had that.
Ooh.
Just like the most, like, bones and just like protein, like that. Just very
Probably with
proteiny.
a little dash of sour, a little bit of tang,
Yeah, yeah.
presumably from the formic acid.
I find bone broth to be sour, so that tracks for me.
There we go.
So yeah, mug of hot bug juice. So,
All right.
Well,
Easy
what
enough.
are we all expecting from this mission besides for it to be a milk run?
It's not going to be a milk run, O'Donnell says, as he starts pulling a cigarette out of the cabinet. He says, "Oh, thank you, God."
Not in the vicinity of other people here. Now, we will create a smoking area for you.
All right, all right. I'll say-
Actually, O'Donnell, typically we would have the smoking section be in the airlocked.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hear
Right?
the company's better in the airlock too, as he starts to light up.
I take great offense to that. I don't see what she sees in them. All right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that goes right past O'Donnell. He doesn't hear it as he's lighting up his cigarette.
Well, it's for sure going to be more dire than we're expecting, right? Like that's
No, we don't know that. They need the people down there need help. I believe if they see that we come in good faith with the means and the ability to help them, then perhaps that might subside any aggressive tendencies that they might.
not like that, Doc. I don't think anyone's going to be shooting at us. Hopefully, I just mean like they're going to be in pretty rough shape.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it's gonna. But
And what, had no medical supplies for 9 months. They haven't had a full supply restock in 4 years.
Yeah. I'm expecting, honestly, to see really bad conditions and really broken people.
Yeah, they're going to probably be a little cynical when they see us show up, is my guess. So we might get a little, heat from them. We'll just have to let that roll off our shoulders because they're probably, justified in being pretty pissed off.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And we're the first faces they'll be seeing coming from a place that didn't help them sooner.
I think the thing that scares me about stuff like this, and first of all, I've done a couple of trucking runs and I haven't had any problems, but I've heard stories anytime I did stops. I haven't had anything like this yet, but I think the thing that makes me nervous is anytime you're doing any kind of stop like this, you end up becoming kind of vulnerable to people who might want what you've got. I don't think the colonists are going to be the problem. I'm just hoping everything else is fine. That's all.
You imagine there might be some sort of bandits down there or something?
I don't know. I honestly, I got nothing. It's just my imagination running wild. The Frontier War was bad. The Colony War was intimate and nasty, and I don't know. I think my big thing is I just don't know. I mean, it's got to do things to people, right? And there's Colony Wars was all about, colonies raiding colonies. So we're tugging around a lot of really expensive, valuable things that we know for a fact a lot of people need desperately right now. If there's still those people out there that think the Colony Wars hasn't ended.
Wouldn't Paxton's Reach be the absolute worst place to attempt to conduct such piracy? If it hasn't had a resupply in 4 years, and you're trying to predict where shipping and logistics might go. Not here. No one supplies here.
Hey, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
And with a population of 900 at last count, that's a lot of people, and surely some of them will want our help.
Just offer, and whoever wants it can have it. Best we can do.
Maybe I can try to send out a message before we get there. Just, alert them that we're coming, or just see who we should check in with.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt, probably.
Yeah, this talk about bandits, potential or otherwise, makes me think that we should make sure that the resources get to as many of the people as possible, so that they're not hoarded, they're not kind of bogarted by any one faction if there's some strange things going on down there already.
Well, the director certainly loaded us up with enough stuff. We've got about 3 tons worth of aid equipment. Looks like about 30 pallets worth of medical supplies. I mean, getting this to this colony, they should be good to go for the next 5 years if everything works out.
Yeah, and if the resources are distributed well. Speaking of which, let me see if I can get them on radio and just see what the situation is down there.
Yeah. Mind if I go with you? I need to settle into the...
I'll show you where the airlock is on the way over.
Oh, good. Bring my pillow in there. You see him take his cigarette out of his mouth, put it between his toes as he puts his shirt on finally, then reaches down and picks up the cigarette and puts it back in his mouth, takes a cup of coffee and starts walking up towards the bridge.
It's real attractive.
With Martha. He goes, yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to let that go to waste. We're a limited supply out here. Besides, my feet are completely clean.
You've been sleep sweating for 15 days.
God, I hope not.
I mean, everyone sweats in their sleep.
Is that true? Doc, is that true?
Unfortunately so, yes.
No shit.
In
Where
the
do you think
distance as
the
y'all are like walking down.
liquid goes?
Yeah. Oh.
I used to look like that when I was his age.
With cigarettes in your toes?
Oh, man. Nah, I never smoked, but yeah, I used to. Anyway, we got to start prepping to see if you can go ahead and send out a message. Preferably, if they can have their more severe cases on the move, ready to be picked up by us and brought to our medical center.
Okay.
Roger that, Doc.
When you enter the bridge, it's worth noting again that the bridge is expansive, and it has a subdeck and a main deck. The subdeck is down below where there is a table that you get a systems map that you can interact with. There's a couple of computer consoles to the left and right that monitor incoming and outgoing communications. Towards the front, though, there is a ramp that takes you up onto the main deck, where you see all of the chairs for a crew to sit for their operational, their positions on the bridge. The main 2 chairs to the bridge, though, of course, are the pilot co-pilot seats, as well as the communications hub that is in the very center. It is this is the big brain of the ship. And you can see out the main window the empty darkness of space, with a few very bright shining lights, these big pinpoints of light, which you all know are probably planets from in the system that you are all traveling through right now showing up with gorgeous clarity as these brilliant stars. And without much reverence for the majesty around him, O'Donnell just slides into his seat. He goes, okay, let's see. Taps a couple of buttons on the computer, and you see Mother, all the consoles on the bridge waking up. You can hear the data stream, of course, that very retro sound of as Mother begins to load up all of the data and information of the system that you're in, all of the planets, all of the moons, of which there is considerable. Feel free to ask questions. I actually do have a full-on readout of this entire system. And O'Donnell takes a look at the system and goes, okay, yeah. Isaac did good. Taking care of all of us. We're flight path. Mother did great. Everything looks normal. We got some messages. Looks like it's some basic stuff. Backlog of beacon chatter being retransmitted here. Oh, there's a message for you, Tig.
Oh, hello. Okay. She'll come up, find a console that she can check it out.
You see that there's a message. I can forward it to a private console if you want it.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
I'm sending it to the back if you want to take one of the chairs. And Sant. Happy reading. Moving to the back of the console of the ship, you find a darkened corner where, again, not all the lights need to be on, so it's just the glow of the computer console. As you sit down and enter your access code, Mother accepts your access code. Immediately you see a message pop up from your uncle. As you skim through the lines, as you open it up, Tig.
Yeah.
Skimming through the lines, first of all, it seems like it reads to you like almost there's a tone at the top of the message that immediately you feel like, oh, he's bracing me for something.
Oh no.
But you see the text popping up. Subject is from Hugo Pike. As you start reading, you just see it says, hey, Tig. Got your messages. I was able to forward them. You'll be happy to know. And I hear that Buffy got the messages you sent. I wasn't given any kind of reply, but I wanted you to know that I will keep looking into that for you. I know that how important it is for you out there in the middle of nowhere. I hope you're staying safe. Keep checking in with us. Keep letting me know how you're doing. And, at some point, she's going to be old enough that she's going to want to message you. So, as often as you spend in hypersleep, that day will come faster than anything. But, I'll keep you posted, and don't lose heart. Keep sending me messages. Miss you, kid.
She will start drafting, I think, a reply in her head. I think she tries to send messages anytime she is not asleep. So I think when she's more awake, maybe she'll reply. She'll send something back. But I think she just kind of has to breathe through that a little bit before she rejoins the crew.
Up towards the communication seat, as you slide into the chair, which is essentially the co-pilot's chair, Martha, Oh, Donald looks over at you and goes, I'm going to forward you some of the messages in case you want to look at them. Captain, if you want to check them, any of them out. It looks just like basic comms chatter. Doesn't look like anything's interesting in here. It looks like Beacon's been forwarding a lot of us the messages of some of the supplies. It looks like the director is probably trying to keep us informed as to what supplies they've got back at home base.
All right, well.
Pretty efficient. Just saying.
Good to know. I will captain all over these communications.
Well, I'm going to make a course adjustment real quick. There's an asteroid belt between us and the planet right now. Might add about an hour to our journey, but it's not a big deal.
All right. I would like to look through the data, what messages we've gotten, and bigger goal for me, though, is to find out anything else I can find out about this colony we're going to, including who might be either in charge or leader of some kind. Who would I be trying to contact?
Excellent idea. Yeah, okay, so Paxton's Breach, the data starts coming up as you access Mother's database on what she has with Paxton's Breach. There is a caution. Mother does inform you that this data might be out of date. The last update from Paxton's Reach that gave any kind of data as the status of the colony itself was about a year ago. So it's not the most up-to-date information. But what you get is a list of station staff. The population, last checked, at least the population that Mother is on file is about 900 colonists. The colony administrator, you see his image pop up as the file appears. You see a Latino man, looks middle-aged, which matches his file, lists him as 44 years old. His name is Jose Ruiz. He is the colony administrator. He is a Wayland-Yutani employee and is the administrator of the entire colony of Paxton's Reach. It is worth noting, too, that Paxton's Reach is a Wayland-Yutani mining facility. Just a quick reminder of that. The next person on the file, who is not a Wayland-Yutani employee, is the Colonial Marshal, Zhu Li. That's Xuli. Chinese. She is 37 years old. You also see Dr. Dustin Catlow. Think of that as Catlow. 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 Caucasian, 44 years old, male. Extensive medical record, but it looks like he's gotten most of his practices done out here on the frontier, judging by the medical file. The Colonial Marshal, of course, answers to the Office of Colonial Marshal Affairs, does not answer to Wayland-Yutani. Is kind of the law out here, as it were. The main colonial engineer is a technician named Ethan Tanahashi, 35-year-old Japanese man. His partner is the colony miner and coordinator, Matsuda Shiko, female, 39 years old, Japanese. There are a couple of other station staff, but you also see listed underneath a lot of the main staff of this station is a lot of the stuff that you saw at Beacon, things that they are short supply on, things that they've been calling out for. You see an old SOS when the colony was attacked years ago. They did not report any casualties during the attack, however, which is encouraging. Looks like it may have been a raid, possibly. The date is close enough to the Frontier War that it was possibly from the UPP, considering how close you all are to the UPP border out here. This is as close as some of you have ever been, and in other cases, particularly for the Marines, this feels familiar. The colony is a terrestrial planet with a toxic atmosphere. It is highly dangerous venturing outside without a breather mask on, and eye protection is optional. But breathers, not optional. The content of the atmosphere is potentially lethal. And unless you're synthetic, don't go outside and take a deep breath. Bad idea. It is a wet world. It does have rivers and oceans on the surface. However, the world itself is largely dusty. It looks like it's mostly deserts and dried riverbeds, kind of like the Mojave Desert kind of style, where it's just flat, dusty. Lots of dust storms also detected on this, but the mountain ranges are quite rich with minerals. Looks like this colony has probably been out here for close to 20 years or so. There's been at least one time before the colony, before the frontier wars broke out, where the colony had a personnel change, where more people came in, some people left. And that was actually the last time they were supplied at all. It looks like the colony has not received any kind of shipment of supplies for almost 2.5 years. And that shouldn't be a problem, except for they were raided, apparently. That seems to be where their problems started happening. They are one of many, according to Mother, who have been hurting for help for a long time.
Okay, cool. What was my question? Is there... Oh, it's gone. Is there any indication of... No, yeah, it's gone.
It's okay.
The question I had was gone, but who else is on the bridge right now?
Aside from O'Donnell, I think everyone is on the bridge right now. I know O'Donnell is. I know the captain is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need to be there. I just tagged along.
Okay. Yeah, no. I was going to just say this out loud for everyone to be caught up. I'm going to summarize all the details of the planet itself, and I might say some of the names out loud as well. And then Martha will say, do we think... Well, I mean, I guess I just have to send a message out and see who gets it, huh? I was kind of hoping to touch base with the doctor and then maybe the colonial marshal and of course the leader, Jose Ruiz. But I guess we'll just see. We'll have to see who picks up the phone.
Yeah. O'Donnell just says, "Fuck." A raid.
If they even still have radios.
Jeez. Well, we know that they sent a message to Beacon.
But
yeah,
isn't their
right.
SOS pretty old?
It might be. I don't know. It's worth sending out a ping. I can try to patch you through if you want. Or, you know, technically you would be the expert at that.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. I would like to try to send them a message.
All right, make a comms tech check. And if I remember correctly, let me just bring it up because you actually might be getting a bonus here. Hold on one sec. G. You want to...
Yeah, I'm scrolling through all my details.
Spacecraft. Thank you, Demiplane. I want to see if you... The first thing he brings up is a 20mm Gatling gun. Sure, that's how Martha decides to communicate.
This is all the talking I need to do.
Okay, Bison. Oh, is it not in the text? 1 second. I just want to see real quick if you get any kind of... I don't think... Oh, no! That's right. No, Mother is going to be able to give you bonuses to this.
Yay!
Mother...
Thanks, Mother.
Yeah, no, she is going to give you big
Mom.
bonuses to this. Okay, so let's see. You're in the CM88G Bison commercial freighter. Also, very familiar to some of us because we've seen... Okay, so you've got the Mother 6500 system. Comtech 6, so you can roll the Mother Comtech skill if you want, which is 6 dice.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And you can add that skill. Yeah, you can add that skill to your wits.
Nice.
Yeah. Mother has Comtech 6, piloting 5, observation 6.
Amazing.
And this is an outdated Mother system.
3, 2.
The 6500 is old.
Oh, is that a D6? Okay. I was like, I don't want to roll one of my stress die just for, juju. So,
Right.
you get a non-stress die. D6. Okay. This is a lot of dice. Jesus.
This is what you do. Let's get it.
Okay. One success.
Welcome to Free League Games, where you can roll 300 d6 and you get a success. All right. Patching into Mother, you establish a link with the colony and start calling out. The moment you attempt to establish the communications, you can already detect that it's kind of a choppy transmission. O'Donnell just kind of says, sorry about that. That's the asteroid field. Don't worry about it. Just keep giving it a shot. We should be out of this in just a few minutes.
It's all good. Trying to what?
He's like, I'm just trying to put as much distance between us and that thing as possible.
It's all good. I'll just keep broadcasting, and I'll send out my message. USCSS Ilios to Paxton's Reach. Come in.
After 3 attempts coming through the static in real time, you see a middle-aged man with a thick beard, good hair, kind of curled up at the top of his head. He looks like he's wearing, doesn't look like a flight suit, but it zips up like a flight suit. But you see he's kind of leaned into to what looks like the visual comms a little close, so you can't see too much of what's going behind him. But it does give you a good look at the disbelief in his face, and he goes, "This is Paxton's Reach, HU-483. Who is speaking to us right now?"
Paxton's Reach, this is USCSS Ilios. We have been sent here by Beacon to provide assistance and supplies.
Holy Mother Mary. Ilios.
May I ask who
Yes.
I'm speaking to?
Yes, this is Administrator Ruiz. I cannot tell you how good it is to hear your voice. We sent out a message to Beacon months ago. Didn't expect to hear back. This is... And you're transmitting in real time. Are you close?
We are. We're a little bit less than 12 hours out of orbit.
You see him... Either he has forgotten that you can see him, but you see he rubs his hand on his face, and if you didn't know any better, Martha, he looks like he's getting emotional. And after a few moments, he goes, "Copy that, Ilios. We will have a welcoming party for you when you arrive."
Oh, there's no need for, well, I know what you mean. Sorry, I'm just waking up from hypersleep. Administrator, we're glad to be of assistance, and could you give us some specific coordinates of where would be best for us to touch down?
Yeah, I'll send that right now. And I'll make sure that we're prepared for your arrival. Just be aware, we've been having some weather issues the past couple of weeks. Lots of heavy thunderstorms moving through here. All part of some of what was left over. Paxton's Reach was originally going to be a colony that was meant to become an actual colony and not a mining facility. But Wayland Yutani changed their minds about halfway through the processes when most of the atmospheric processes were destroyed in raids. We've been having heavy thunderstorms for the past 2 months, but they're supposed to be clearing up in the next few days.
Oh. Well, we look forward to meeting you in person. Oh, also, we do have a medical facility and a doctor. Well, we have medical staff on board. So if you could please also have just a list of your highest priority medical cases, and we can attend to them right away.
Martha, in the background, you hear somebody clapping out, and you hear, "Whoa! All right, let's go!" And Ruiz goes, Roger that. Elios, we'll be very, very happy to receive you.
Over and out.
Well, if I didn't feel good about what we were doing before, I sure as heck do now.
Hey, Doc, I think your manifestation is coming through.
Not bad for a milk run. Not bad at all.
Sorry.
Oh,
Just
O'Donnell,
laughing because this is how Alien Covenant starts. Everyone's like, oh, finally. Things are starting to look up.
Let's do some
Don't take
good, y'all.
stress.
When the GM knows how screwed you are the next act.
No, I'm just laughing. I don't know how screwed you are, but I'm just laughing because Noir is saying like the trigger words of doom for like an alien. But yeah, no. O'Donnell even looks like he's smiling a little bit, and he also just chimes in and goes, "I don't mind being wrong."
I don't either. Yeah. O'Donnell, did you catch that about the weather?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Landing a bison is it's not easy in heavy weather, but it'll be fine. It's just gonna be a bumpy ride on the way down.
I mean, do we have shuttlecraft we can maybe start offloading the supplies with?
We have an escape craft.
No. Okay.
Son, I don't like how nervous you are at the prospect of landing.
Not nervous, no. No. I can land the Elios. That's not the problem. The problem is Elios is an old tug. So when she goes underneath the cloud cover and we get into the stratosphere, she's going to start getting a little bumpy. And then when we get into the actual storm systems, well, it's going to be a little choppy. That's all. Don't worry. The gravitational regulators on the ship are going to be fine. We'll just be shaking around a little bit, but no one's going to go bouncing into the ceiling or anything. It's just going to be bump. That's all.
You just buckle in, Doc. You'll be all right.
When we say it's gonna be shaking and bumping a little bit, how much now? How much now is a little bit?
Depends on how bad the storms are, and we're not going to know that until we get into them. So, I hope you're up for an adventure, Doc.
I'm just walk.
Walk it off, Doc. Walk it off.
Doc walks right past you, Isaac.
Why is he shaking?
The Doc's used to slightly less turbulent travel accommodations. He'll be all right.
Of course he will. It's perfectly safe, and we have an excellent pilot.
It's lizard brain, Isaac. That's what my grandfather used to call it, lizard brain. It's when you go into survival mode. The
But
way
you
the
don't
Doc doesn't see it as a safe spacecraft that's capable of planetfall. Doc sees a giant metal box that's about to throw him towards a large celestial body. And he's nervous. Lizard brain.
Both are true.
We got to get Doc to focus on the other one. The other one that's true. He'll be all right.
Isaac starts drifting off from the bridge
Okay.
to contemplate this and hopefully in solution for this problem.
Okay.
We'll see what they come up with.
In which case, your journey towards Paxton's Reach is going to be uneventful. So any scenes or anything you would like to accomplish before the arrival at the colony, do let me know now.
Last moments of happiness. I don't know.
Yeah. Doc's just writing in his journal. He since he's captain, he's figured he has to keep a captain's log, so that's all he's doing.
Save that for coffee. Yeah. That'd be good.
I do think Tig is gonna go and like where do you think you're hanging out, Doc?
Probably in the cryo sleep chamber area.
Okay, cool. You'll at some point you hear just like a knock on the door frame.
Yes. Hello. Come through. Come on in.
You busy, Captain?
Just finishing up some writing, getting some thoughts out, documenting everything. It's always good to have documentation.
Yeah, I was gonna see if you and your captainly duties would like to give me a hand. I need some help.
Oh, I'd love to help. What can I help you with?
I mean, we land. We gotta know exactly where everything is. We didn't load this ship. We should, I want to get a hand in all the supplies. I want to go through what we've got. Keep it forefront of my brain. If we're gonna be helping people, I want to know what I've got to work with.
Inventory, of course. We gotta know what we got before we know what we can do. That's awfully clever of you.
Tig is fully trying to distract you to give you something to think on to think about and focus on for the next couple of hours. Something she wanted to do anyways, but she is like, "Let's go, Doc. I need your help."
Just kind of closes up the pad he was writing on and stuffs it in his personal pod. Who walks with you?
You guys do have lockers if you want them. There are the hygiene and personal lockers are just on the other side of the galley, so that's right when you walk out of the galley towards the maintenance lift. But
cool.
It's up to you.
Noted.
You still got to keep it in this
It's in
pod.
the bed.
That's fair.
Like in your pillowcase, like a diary.
Yeah.
Some habits die hard. Yes. Go ahead, lead the way to the inventory.
Yeah, we'll head down to I would assume it's a cargo bay. I don't know which. Don't remember which floor some of these are on, but.
So the cargo bay, that is going to be all the way down the lower landing cloud chamber. Yeah, that's going to be. Cargo is on D deck, the very, very bottom of the ship. So getting inside the lift and just go. When it finally. Doors slide open. You step out into the dark corridor where you see the escape craft, which is located here in one of the... this is actually at the very bottom of the ship. This is where you're going to find the hyperdrive machinery, the air scrubbers, all of that stuff.
Nice.
Moving into the darkened corridor, the Ilios becomes much more expansive down here. There's a lot of rooms down here that take up multiple decks. So moving through some of these rooms, they are vaulted ceiling, as it were, some of them reaching up as far as 50 feet. As you move into the cargo bay, it is large and expansive, and indeed this place is completely filled with pallets of food, of medical supplies. The big heavy stuff is all the machinery and technical parts that are being supplied to the colony. Tons and tons of it. It is going to be a lot to unload all of the stuff. There are 2 power lifters, however, that are available to you here inside the cargo bay. There's also there is a claw, like a crane that is being used to also offload items. It does not at first sight, Tig, look like that's been maintenanced in a hot minute. The thing you notice about this cargoed hooked claw that's just kind of dangling, it's currently lashed in a safety measure around the arm crane itself, but looking at the claw, it looks like this thing probably could use some repair. May not be safe to use.
Yeah, I might. We don't have like communicators. Like obviously we don't have like Star Trek communicators. Do we all have our mother tablets still that we had?
Yes, but those do. So the way the tablets work is they do not update in real time.
That's right. Yeah.
They allow you to connect to Mother, but in order to actually speak to somebody on the bridge, you have to go and find a Mother console down below. Which
can I send a memo, like a text message
through the Mother console?
Through another console. Okay.
Yeah, but you would not be able to. There is no walkie-talkies or comm sets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what I figured. Yeah. If I can spot a Mother console, I'm gonna try to send a message to Isaac. Just be like, hey, I don't know much about this, but you are the expert. You might want to come take a peek when you get the chance and just kind of info about what we saw before we start, making our way around.
Okay. So where are you right now, Isaac?
I've just been idly drifting, attempting to think about ways to make the captain less nervous on landing, because I didn't have any other tasks that I hadn't already completed over 15 days in between reading books. But there was one that wasn't logged on my task list, and that is apparently this.
Also worth noting that every week I believe it's every week, but every week while you are operating, every week a member of your crew needs to make one heavy machinery roll and one comtech roll to service the ship. Each roll takes 1 shift per work. Only one person can roll, but others can help. If you're all in cryosleep, get a synthetic to do the work for you. A ship AI, like Mother, can handle the Comtech service, but not heavy machinery. If a service skill roll fails or is not made during a particular week, your ship will suffer minor component damage.
Oh my goodness.
So if you want, Isaac, we could say now's the perfect time to make a heavy machinery check before planetfall.
All right. Yeah, that sounds very important right now.
Yeah. It's about that time.
So it is. Oh, goodness. What kind of stunt is available on this?
Ooh, that's a great question. Let me double check. I think typically when it comes to checks like this, it would be like you can speed up how much time it takes. I'm going to pop this open and look. So you rolled heavy machinery. So stunts for heavy machinery would be like +1 to doing this again later. You don't need to roll again for the exact situation, but that's not the case here. Half the usual time. You can choose to break it permanently. You can act quietly, or you can show off.
All right, so I have 3 successes, which is 2 stunts. 1, I should add a +1 to future checks because this isn't the last time that I'm going to maintenance this ship.
Right.
So we can say that this particular series of diagnostics was sort of the getting to know you diagnostic, and thereafter we will have gotten to know all about you. And ideally gotten to like you, but we'll see. Beyond that... can I use the stunt to get that crane up and running before we have to start strapping in?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
In that case, let's see. Perfectly fine, and I'm super happy to do that as well. I think it's probably just a thing that Martha would notice, maybe O'Donnell would notice, but yeah, I'll use the stunt to show off. It's really good. It's nice. It's good. It's nice, and people know that it's nice.
Up on the bridge, Martha, as O'Donnell's sitting there, he looks at the communications transmission static, and you see him double take as he finishes his cigarette. Finally, he goes, "What the fuck?" And he looks down and goes, "Oh shit!" Gets on the comms and. Hey, Isaac, is that you just now?
Did I break anything?
No, you cleared up the communications. I thought it was the asteroid. It was actually the Ilios. It looks great now. We have a clear transmission signal.
Yes. Nice work, Isaac.
Hey.
Thank you. Use it to good effect. Help people.
Roger that.
That's the plan.
Looks over at you, Martha, and just goes, "Nice."
Yeah.
You have effectively shown the hell off.
They should never have put that stunt in there. I now have a stunt tax I have to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in this process, I see the message, and I can...
When you get into the cargo bay, you see what Tig was talking about. As you're looking up at the claw, that's going to take a couple of shifts worth of work to fix. And you're probably going to need to get full access to a lot of the parts in the workshop down here. That's going to be like a full-on job.
I do think you walk into the cargo bay and Tig is sitting like cross-legged on top of one of the crates. And I don't know if the doc will be sitting too or if he's like nearby, and she's like passing him stuff, and is like a full fancy medical facility. That's like so, I don't know. like you just always had like an office for your own office and also an office to like see patients.
Well, you have to start somewhere. I started with a small clinic, and I got a contract that was rather generous, and from there I was just able to grow the business.
Okay, your small clinic, that's even... I'm not even there yet. The Ilios is the first time I've had any medical facilities to work in, so this is my big deal. And she like tosses stuff in your direction.
You are exceptionally young, and you've got so much more life to live. You don't pace yourself. You'll be fine.
I'm having a good time. And then just like, I think every once in a while she like lobs one. Like they're just like little boxes, which is just, we're honestly just like counting stuff and like putting it back in. Like I think this is just menial tasks.
Now you've done a lot of these landings, you said?
Yes, all right. You've done like planet side travel, right? Like,
I always have a particular driver, one that I thoroughly vetted. And this,
we're in the vetting process. You just got to do it on the job.
well, you know,
So it'll be okay. It's good. It's all good.
there are two jobs there are two jobs you can't mess up on the job. There's surgery and driving or piloting.
Well, you certainly can. Hi, Isaac. Will I see you?
They have a quick moment of processing as their eavesdropping has been caught.
Tig did invite you down. She was expecting you at some point, but...
And you came in and you were having a conversation and they just sort of paused behind the stacks of crates because it's nice to hear the humans talk.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
just
so-
enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
And then counting the number of occupations that would have catastrophic outcomes.
Exactly. Exactly. I think Tig goes, will kind of like hop down and be like, okay, so like I said, I don't really know stuff about stuff, but that looks funny, right? We've used a couple of these before, but like that looks funny. Not funny, but like not, it should be different. Does it need, I think it needs some diagnostics, maybe.
It probably does. Pretty much everything that hasn't gotten a lot of work does. That is... Hassan would call it a job. A whole job. A whole... And then he would say a word he said I shouldn't say. Job.
Oh, yeah.
Also, for your information, Isaac, Hassan is very fond of using the word foobar to describe things that are messed up.
I've never seen that kind of a bar.
You're looking at one.
That looks rather heavy and not completely hinged. That's not gonna mess with like the balance of the vessel.
No,
Or anything.
because we have an expert pilot.
Everybody keeps saying that. All right. All right. Well, we should wrap up our inventory here and then find a nice place to buckle up. Where's the safest? Isaac, where's the safest place one could buckle up in a vessel during a landing in a storm?
Cut to any arbitrary area of the ship with Isaac as mom arm.
Yeah.
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 Real talk, if Isaac is doing that, the doc is clutching the arm.
Yes. Understood. They accept that.
Yeah, Isaac, without having you roll, your assessment is that arm is probably going to need a couple of shifts worth of work. It does look repairable, but it's going to be a lot. That's gonna be
Isaac has mentally triaged that after anything absolutely emergent at Paxton's Reach, after consultation with the engineer on base, it is something that once landed, they will look into. It didn't seem like the time to swing from the chandelier.
Okay.
Well, you let me know if you could use some extra hands. Mine probably are not quite as capable, but I got whole tools. Can pass them to you.
You hold human vasculature closed sometimes, so I'm sure heavy machinery isn't significantly more complicated.
Yeah, show me where to clamp down. We got this. Cool.
All right. If there's nothing else, we can get to planetfall. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to do? All right. In which case, after about a day's worth of work, everyone getting a little bit of rest and refreshed, by the time ship time rolls around at 8 a.m., you're all feeling the effects of hypersleep having fully worn off, and a day's worth of work has kept you all busy. Occasionally, you'll receive a ping from the colony just as sort of a standard precaution that O'Donnell will tell you colonies will do that sometimes just to gauge your ETA. In this case, he thinks they're doing it just to make sure we're real. As you all continue up to approach the planet, that bright star does get larger and larger in the window. Until finally you start coming across this large world in front of you that looks like essentially this beautiful sandstone-colored planet that is indeed, from even altitude of, like, as you're approaching the planet side itself, you can tell that this, in many regions of the planet, seems to be undergoing what looks like major storm systems. However, it would appear the Paxton's Reach's estimate about when the storm was clearing was correct. As you're all approaching the colony, you can see that what looks like a large storm system that maybe has gone over the colony is largely out of the way. You'll be passing through one of the bands, but it's nothing significant. But O'Donnell does tell everybody to strap into seats, just as a precaution. And as he does so, I am now going to roll his piloting checks, because planetfall is in fact a roll. Yep. He has to make a planetfall check. Let's see. Planetfall usually takes 1 shift to complete. Requires a roll. All right. So let's roll. Let's see.
What was the Ilios's piloting, or mother's piloting help was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was. But he actually does not let mother join in on the piloting. He just switches off the pilot. Switches off the... And he is going to roll. All right, here we go.
Tig goes, "Hey Doc, how many gauze packets can you fit in your bag?"
I could fit 32 of them. Okay.
How many syringes do you want to have on you at all times? What's your preference there?
Oh, you gotta have at least 24 in your field pack. Oh!
All right. How many extra disinfectant wipes should I have on me? Just for your backup. Which is just gonna go as we make.
Martha chimes in to, like, what's with those really thick needles? Like, the small ones and their big ones. Why do you need big needles at all?
Okay. Limit this to something that's not going to freak out your pilot.
Sorry.
Deep tissue penetration.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's beautiful. For anybody who's sitting up at the front of the ship, this planet, just like any planet, as you're descending onto it, the skies pretty much look like they are troubled by these storms that are moving through the area, but they are giving you that beautiful association of how far up into the atmosphere they roil. And beneath them, you can see a landscape of mountains, great plains of just dust. But you can see and know, of course, that their distance miles above this planet. Up here, everything is just so micro-scaled. You can see, as it drifts across this planet, this beautiful world that's in front of you, out here on the edge of known space. And then the ship begins to shake a little bit, and you see the red hot flames begin to grow on the front of the vessel. And flipping a couple of switches, you see O'Donnell pull into a right angle as you guys begin to enter the atmosphere. To his credit, it is a smooth ride. It's not 100% smooth. It seems to go pretty well at the top when y'all are entering the atmosphere. Just the usual roaring rumbling of entering the upper atmosphere of a planet. Once you make it past the stratosphere, though, the wind shears begin to fight the ship a little bit, and the ship goes... Every now and then you get some chop, as they say in Aliens. Not as bad as it was, but then again, you're not on a drop ship elevator to hell going down. Instead, the Ilios manages the upper atmosphere with some measure of competence. But you can get a good sense of how proficient your pilot is as he brings you in through the upper band of the storm system. Till finally the gray clouds break away and the shaking, the trembling, the shimmies, they all stop. Isaac, you see, glancing over at you as he's flipping some of the switches, O'Donnell goes, Isaac, I'm going to have to teach you how to fly this thing at some point. Do you know how to fly this thing?
It isn't part of my programmed parameters, no.
Can you do that? Can you put that in your program parameters? We could always use more than one pilot on a ship in case something happens to me.
Can my parameters be changed like that? I think it's as much to Martha as to anyone else.
Can I just say something and you let me know if it's wrong?
If you want insight, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, Martha's instinct is actually she says, I do remember there was this one synth we had on a mission that was sent with us, and we were able to teach it a couple things, although nothing as complex as piloting. But I don't know. It's probably possible.
Anybody's capable of growth. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put your mind to it. Why not?
I mean, I don't have experience programming synths, but if you like, I can try to help you add new programming if you want.
I would appreciate that.
That would be fun.
Your grip
challenge.
is getting much tighter. Are you feeling all right?
I'm sorry if I'm hurting you. It's almost over.
It is.
All right.
Paxton's Reach, this is the Ilios on final approach. I've got you in my sights. Here. Copy that, Ilios. We see you coming in now. It's a beautiful sight. We'll see you in just a moment. Copy that. Switches off the comms and says, all right, everybody. Get ready. We are here. The trip is over.
Let's go make some friends.
All right.
The Ilios is not an agile landing. It is a giant space bus. This ship comes to a slowdown. And as the slowing begins to occur, as you begin to reach that moment where the ship begins to settle, it's a good 20 minutes of just slowly, carefully descending. At one point, O'Donnell just goes, God damn, she's got a fat ass. He says, all right, ready, we're going to get a bump. I don't know how you just feel the ship go.
Oh, dear Lord, mercy.
And touchdown! The Ilios has landed.
The crowd goes wild.
She'll be easier to land when she doesn't have all that cargo.
Well, let's go give some of it out then.
Thank you so much, Isaac.
I come over to the captain. Captain, I put my hand out to help him up.
Yeah. Captain, yes. Yes. Wait, let's go. Let's go say hello to some folks and help them out.
Yes, sir.
O'Donnell keeps flipping switches to power down the engines. Starts swiveling around in his chair, looks at everybody else and goes, all right. So what do I do now that I've done the thing?
Let's go unload.
All right.
Slaps taps the back of his chair, and we're gonna go.
Okay.
We'll go greet our hosts.
He jumps up. Yeah, the loading ramp, as it takes forever to slowly lower down. When it finally touches down, I'm going to assume that everyone put their masks on. But, except obviously Isaac doesn't have to, but everybody else who's breathing. Moving down the ramp, you see there's a couple of people waiting for you all down here who start jogging up to the vessel. One of them is obviously the Administrator Ruiz. Comes up and you can hear his voice is, of course, got that slight modulation like he's talking through an intercom as he approaches. And he goes, oh, my God, it is good to see all of you. I guess Beacon's real after all.
Well, it's trying to be. It's a pleasure to meet you and show us where your wounded are. Show us where it hurts. We're more than happy to make it right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is Colonial Monster Zhu Li, and this is our Doctor Dustin Catlow. He'll be taking Dr. Catlow. If you want to take this doctor, you guys can go do your doctor thing, and I can introduce the rest of you to Ethan. He's going to give you the lowdown on what we need here.
All right, sounds good. This is my crew. Make sure they're taken care of. Doctor, it's a pleasure to meet you.
He just nods to you.
I'm Dr.
He looks-
Albright.
Dr.
Please.
Albright. He looks tired. Albright. The moment you see him, he's got bags under his eyes. He looks like he has not been sleeping very well. But he just says, "Good to meet you, Doctor. Come on inside. I could use your help right away with something."
All right, well, you folks got it from here? I'm just looking at the crew.
We start organizing some offloads, see what needs to go where, and if you've got any capable hands who are ready and able to move some stuff, we got some big crates.
All right.
The colony is a 2-story compound. It's about 100 yards in length, about 100 yards wide. Looks like a big square warehouse from the outside. It's quite large. You can see it all has all kinds of equipment, cables, and a couple of vehicles stationed out front. You can also see the clear signs of mining machinery. No sign of a mine, though, interestingly enough, but you do see lots of what looks like huge crates that are used to ship and move ore that has just been pulled. It doesn't look like any of these have been in operation for a hot minute. Looks like there's 2 tractors here. One of them looks like it has a tarp thrown over it. The other one looks like it has been heavily used recently. You can tell just from the scent of diesel that kind of drifts into your noses as you're walking past it, enough to actually give you, through the air filters of your masks, a scent of what's going on. For you, Isaac, you can spot what looks like the clear use of, you can tell just from the mud on the top of the treads that this has been driven around recently. And you all make your way inside of this large facility. Not much to look at, but then these mining facilities don't really go for aesthetic. So it's not surprising that it looks like a big 2-story, Costco from the outside. It just looks like this big warehouse made out of all the steel girders, flooring, roofs, the whole bit. As soon as you walk inside, you're immediately inundated with this blast of air as the environmental doors come to a heavy close behind you. And the air filtration system immediately activates. You see one of them flashing an alert, and he overrides it. Flashes an alert again, and just like he was waiting for it to do that again, he overrides it. And it says override accepted, and a few moments later, it says cycle starting again, and the air filtration system begins. And he looks back at all of you and says, "The air scrubbers have been going bad here for a while now. It's been leading to a couple of people getting sick. Not too many people are allowed outside anymore unless it's vital. My guess is the company finally decided to send you all because the ore manufacturing stopped, although they haven't gotten a shipment in about a year now." Presses the button again, and you see the doors open in front of you. And he steps into the hallway and pulls his mask off and goes, "Oh. Come on in, I'll take you to the administration office. I'll give you a lowdown of everything that's going on here. We got a lot of work to do. How long do we have you guys anyway?"
You got us until you're able to stand up on your own.
Oh, that's something to hear. Takes you up a large ramp that leads you into a facility that looks like it is 2 floors into itself. This looks like the main information hub or the bridge of the colony itself. You can see a couple of walkways up here that have computers lining the systems. You do see the signs of an old Mother 6500 system, much like the one you've got on board the Ilios. You see all kinds of equipment that are monitoring the structural stability of a mine that, according to this, is located about 4 kilometers from where you are right now. And you see a lot of technical readouts. Plus, a beautiful wall of windows that look out onto the Ilios, as well as much of the planet that is in front of you all. Seeing the vast horizons. It looks very similar to Mars. It's not quite as red, though. It's more of like a sandy color. The entire planet looks like it is, as I've said, kind of dusty, like a dried riverbed. And on occasion, as you look out the window, you can see great plumes, these huge clouds of dust reaching up kilometers as they blow across distant mountainsides. With that, Ruiz steps over to a large chair that is facing what looks like the largest computer panel here. You can see Mother is online, their Mother system. As he comes and brings it up and he goes, okay, so there's a lot to go over here, so I'm going to try to keep this as simple as I can and try to prioritize a little bit exactly what it is that we need, because we need a lot, man. We need a lot. Okay, so first of all, hi, Jose Ruiz. I'm the administrator here of Weyland-Yutani Colony Lalande 4825, also known as Paxton's Reach. It's lovely to meet you all. The colony itself is HU 483, but just call it Paxton's Reach. Let's see. I don't even know where to begin. He turns around and he says, Mother, bring up all of the bring up everything. Bring me up a damage report. Bring me up. Fuck. He starts typing it in when she stops responding. Types in a couple of commands, and then you see data readouts start popping up. Population 807 is the first thing you see. You also see a couple of repairs that have been logged. This colony needs new air scrubbers. It has been without medical supplies. You don't know for how long, but they are currently completely out of medical supplies. That's what you see under the log below. Medical supplies are just completely out. They are using old foodstuffs that they have in reserves. According to this, Mother estimates that they have 3 months of food left for the entire colony. So you're starting to get a good sense of how relieved he is that you're all showing up. You also log that one of the main tractors, and it takes you a second to realize it's a tractor, but as you see it appearing on the screen, you see Big Bertha. And underneath it has it listed as the Dohodai all-terrain tractor, which is used to get a lot of the ore to and from, and also to transport a lot of the miners to and from, has been without maintenance for roughly 7 months. It has been inoperable. So they've been working at half capacity. The other thing you notice is even with all of these limitations, the mine has been kept operational and people are still going to work. You see there are injuries that have been reported too, that have started to stack up. And they have all been listed as priority. On top, there's about 7 injuries that have been listed as priority, about 47 that are currently on the mend or are off duty until they are fully healed. And Ruiz goes, this is pretty much what we're looking at right now. Also, we have no way of seeing the outside. Planetary sensors have been down for about a year now, and we don't have the parts to get them back up and running again. So.
That seems like it would leave you vulnerable to storms like these if you didn't have the sensors to know they were coming.
That's right.
We came with parts and stuff. How much of this feels like stuff that we can be actively useful for on the mechanical side?
You're not sure. I mean, repairing Big Bertha could probably be done. And that's probably going to be a big priority to get the colony up and running again for sure. For the parts, just the general parts and the air scrubbers, you guys have all that equipment. It's just going to take a lot of time.
Administrator, we noticed that the last data we have on Paxton's Reach, about a year ago, the population was at 900. Can you tell me what happened to those 93 people?
Yeah. God, yeah. He leans up against his chair and says, I mean, what didn't happen? Well, at first it was the raid, taking a lot of our supplies. Thankfully, no one was killed in the raid. They did show up with guns. I gave them whatever they wanted. They took just about everything their ship could carry, which was quite a bit. And that's when we started sending out the SOS, basically. Then, of course, we heard back that help would be on the way as soon as possible. That was maybe 3.5 years ago. And it's been a slow, steady decay ever since then. And we had a couple of issues with the air scrubbers. We didn't realize that was happening because some of our internal sensors were out, so we didn't know there was an environmental problem until Mother flagged it 6 weeks after it had been a problem. People started getting sick, so we lost colonists. We lost a few of our workers to contamination. Then things got a little dicey for a hot minute, and he looks over at the colonial marshal, and Lee just nods, and she looks up and says, "We had a bit of a riot on our hands for a moment. Things got pretty rough. Almost had our own little colony war right here on this colony. But thankfully, the deputies that I was able to put into charge were able to get things under control. We had 2 deaths from that. And then the rest have been largely accidents," she says. If you would like, I would invite anybody who is listening to this right now. You may, if you choose, you can make an observation roll.
Just to double check, I'm with them, right?
You can be. I thought you were following the doctor, but you guys can be.
I am following the doctor. That's why
Doctor's taking you to the sick bay.
Okay, I didn't want to be in 2 places at once, so
Yeah.
Okay, I am not making this roll.
Okay, cool. So make it. You need a 6 or better. Just let me know if you get it.
Okay.
Wits observation.
2, 3.
Almost entirely 4s. No 6s for me.
I got 1 6.
Okay. How'd you do, Isaac?
Oh, there were accidents.
Sure. Martha.
I didn't need to roll.
Martha, Lee sounds strained. She sounds like she's angry when she says it. Louise just nods and says, "Yeah, it's been rough. So, it's been the ocean beating against a rock. We are just getting slowly worn away. No supplies, running low on food, air scrubber issues, the raid."
Well, what do you say we get some folks fed and we start unloading?
Yeah, I can see to that. Let me see if I can't get our coordinator, Shiko, up here, and she can help you all coordinate that. Yeah. Let me look to that right away. And he turns and moves over to the mother console, starts typing it in. Because you rolled 1 success, Martha. Because you rolled 1 success. What's funny about that is my mom's name is Martha, so this is going to be very, very confusing for me.
My grandmother's name is Martha.
It's a Freudian slip.
No,
You
mother.
say one thing and you mean a mother.
Yeah, no Marthas. All right. So, as he moves away, Lee just kind of looks down. And you can see a slight clinch in her jaw for a moment before she looks back at the computer. Martha. Again, images of a woman who is very upset. She is middle-aged. She looks like she's wearing those fingerless gloves. She has what looks like a sidearm that is in a draw position on the left, almost like a cowboy-styled holster. It's on her thigh. She's wearing a heavy leather jacket, heavy cargo pants with boots as well, and has looks like a worn company, like recycled issued Wayland Yutani t-shirt underneath her heavy jacket. Looks like her face has seen a lot of sun over the course of her life. Probably a testament to how much work she's probably done out here on the frontier and some of the colonies. She wears her hair in a tight bun in the back, but you can tell, Martha, because you've served with people in the military, you've served with people who've seen some shit. She looks like she's made out of steel and nails. She's probably seen some things, like the same impression you got when you met Tig.
Ruiz is turned away on the console.
Yeah, he's about 20 feet away from you guys, typing this in.
I'm just gonna keep an eye on Lee and maybe move towards like slightly closer to her, but not too close. Just kind of a casual move. I just want to get closer in case there's a chance to talk to her privately.
Okay. She glances over at you.
I just give a quick nod.
You Marine?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Shit. Glances back and says, Marines enforce the Colonial Protection Act?
Do I know that? I mean, I would know that. What is it?
Yeah, essentially the Colonial Marines are kind of now the...
Oh, right.
Okay. With the Colonial Marshal's office keeps law on the planets.
Right. Okay.
But when shit goes south, the Marines get called in because y'all, by the mandate of the United Nations, y'all basically make sure that companies are playing nice now.
That's right.
That's what brought the colony wars to the end. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see, you get this feeling start to creep over you when she asks you about that. And
yeah, I nod and I say, yes, ma'am. May I ask how many Marines are on planet side?
No Marines planet side. Talk to me later. She leans back as the administrator comes back and goes, all right, I'm going to have my guys come meet you all down so you can start doing some unpacking. I can't tell you how grateful I am you're here.
Happy to help.
Is this your synthetic? And Ruiz points. I've seen the Isaac models before, but never up close. Hi, Administrator Ruiz. And he extends his hand to you, Isaac.
Hi, my name is Isaac.
That's good to meet you, Isaac. Do you know how to shake, Isaac?
I shake his hand.
Shakes your hand and goes, it's good to meet you. We had one of the earlier Bishop models down here working for the mining facility for a while, courtesy of Hyperdyne, but unfortunately,
Unfortunately what? They're very resilient models.
Yeah. He just kind of says that, and Lee speaks up and says, our bishop was destroyed by the raiders when they came down here to get as many supplies as they could.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Lee looks annoyed, and she just says, yeah, me too. But he saved some people, so... Administrator, if it's all right, I'm going to show them around a little bit. And he just goes, okay, yeah, sure. I'll let you know when our staff is up here and you can coordinate. I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of the colony know that help has finally arrived. It's going to do wonders for morale. And he turns back to the computer and slides into the seat and goes, oh, finally. And starts typing on Mother. And Lee turns and looks at all of you and says, let me show you what everything looks like. In the sick bay, you're looking around, Doc, and you see the sick bay is empty. You don't see bandages. You don't even see bottles of aspirin. You see nothing in here. What you do see is what looks like furniture that has been broken, and it's stained with blood, and there are stacks of it in the far off corner. The doctor who leads you into the room comes to a pause as he enters, and he looks around and he throws his arms open. And Dr. Catlow just says, this is what I'm working with. This is all I've got. We ran out of medical supplies shortly after that raid, as you probably heard. I've had to break tables and chairs because I've literally had to be making splints out of what we've got left. We're out of bandages, and I've got somebody who has an open fracture who needs surgery. And now that you're here, please tell me that there is a functioning medical bay on that ship.
Clean, pristine, and ready to go. Don't you worry, the cavalry's here.
Good, that's good.
Man, I can tell you, I was a mind to bring every medical thing that I could wrap my head around bringing, but I did not for a second consider the fact that you might need chairs, so I can't help you there, but
No,
we're
it's...
gonna get your people taken care of.
He walks up to you, and it's a little unsettling the way he looks at you, Doc. He puts his hands on your shoulders, and for a moment, you're not sure what he's doing. But you can see in his eyes the exhaustion, and he just says, "We are dying. You have no idea. It's been bad, really bad."
I know, Doctor, but...
No, you don't understand. I have had to prioritize who lives and dies for months now. There have been people I've had to watch die. No help. Oh, I couldn't even ease their pain. It's been horrible. I have lists of people I've prioritized. I've lost patients to things that we've had cures for hundreds of years. I can't even fight basic bacterial infections. I've been using tourniquets and made of torn dinner cloths.
Doctor, you did all you could, and nobody could ask any more of you, and if you'd forgive just a slight correction, and it's gonna put a hand on his shoulder, you were dying. We got you.
That's a good button to go on our break.
That's why he's the captain.
Let's take 10 minutes, and when we get back, we're going to try to find out what the hell is happening at Paxton's Reach. See you in 10. Welcome back to Beacon, and welcome back to Paxton's Reach. It is a bleak situation on this colony, specifically this mining facility. Owned by Weyland-Yutani, it has been long overdue for help. What lingers in the back of everyone's mind as well, getting to know the people here in Paxton's Reach, is this was one of at least 100 colonies that were in the red and have been reaching out for help desperately. It's giving you a snapshot of what Varela might be stressing out over. The fact that she has only a limited number of ships that weren't functioning and a station that was not ready to go when she acquired it. It can only make you think of how bad it must be elsewhere. But very few things are quite as motivating as realizing how badly these folks need your help. Doc, you have gotten a really good snapshot as to what the situation is here in the medical facility. Specifically, Catlow's been out of medicine for months now. The medical facility was one of the first things that got cleaned out when they were raided. There's a backlog of patients who have injuries, and one of them is in need of repair to a broken femur, which is compounded by an open fracture of the shin bone, and they have been needing surgery for the past week and a half. How somebody has managed to go through that without painkillers or medicine, it is horrifying to consider. But the doc makes it very clear that they will be fine if they can get medical attention from something that will help. He didn't want to take the leg because of how his whole thing was he was able to control infection as best he could. There hasn't been any signs of infection thanks to a lot of the precautions they have been taking. However, the inevitability of the passage of time, he is in rough shape. And also the patient wasn't going to let him, apparently. The patient has refused again and again and again. The doctor seems, when the doctor relays this, when Catlow relays this to you, that the patient has constantly refused him to let him just take the leg, you get a sense of the doctor's supreme frustration with that sentiment and irritation with the patient. But then he also follows it up by saying, the truth is if we did take the leg, he would be in the exact same situation as he's in now. And that's his figuring of it anyway. We just don't have what we need. I ran out of things to stitch people up with a month and a half ago. His timing could not have been worse.
People always getting hurt when it's the most inconvenient, I tell you. But don't you worry. You take me to this patient, we need to get them taken care of ASAP. I've got my medical kit with me. I can do some basic treatment. At least I can get them some painkillers. I don't know how they're dealing.
He goes on to tell you the kind of shape that he's in. Without going into significant details, it's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable that this patient is still alive. That leg should have gone bad over a week ago. This guy should probably be in his final moments. But one thing that has become clear to you as you're looking over some of the medical needs here, Doc, people who live out here on the frontier, they are just made out of damn metal. These folks go through hardships that they are not told about when they sign up for these jobs. They go through, according to the injury reports, they go through outrageous things that no one should have to go through on a job. As you're skimming through the reports and he's leading you down the corridor to where the man's located, what keeps going through your head, Albright, is this is why the colony wars happened. Because of how people were being treated, because of how completely neglected the colonies were by all kinds of neglect, and because of how people were treated by the companies. Like, it's all going through your head right now. What it's actually like out here on the frontier. And you're seeing the worst of it at the moment. When you enter into the room, the first thing you experience is a smell that I will not describe. But you see a gentleman who's laid up on a bed covered in sweat. He has what looks like a couple of wooden planks. You think they might be legs to furniture that have been tied around his leg. But the leg, without going into detail, oh my God, that should have been removed a long time ago.
So it can't be salvaged.
I mean, it depends on what you're able to put together in the medical bay on board your ship. But if you want to make a medical aid check here to take a look at him.
And I do have my med kit, so can I use that for this?
Yes.
All right, so that's 3. And then empathy, that's 5. So that's 8 so far. And then that's 2 more. 1, 2, 3 successes.
Yeah, 3 successes. First of all, the smell, the moment the door opened, the smell immediately told you the doctor's assessment is incorrect. If you're smelling it the moment the door opens, it's infected. When you approach the leg and you see its state, it's infected. When you see the guy leaning up against the wall with sweat all over his face, Doc, he is probably critical right now. It's a miracle he's not dead. But when you approach the leg, you see he needs medical attention right away, and that leg has to come off.
Reg makes a beeline to him and just goes, hey there, son.
He just mutters something to you. He doesn't say anything. And the doctor rubs his head and he goes, I've done what I could. There's so many circumstances here that I I couldn't help him.
Hey. He's alive, and he wouldn't have been if it weren't for you. Give yourself a moment to breathe. I can carry this burden.
He just covers his nose. Yeah, he's running a temperature. Looks like his fever's probably spiking it up to about 103 the moment you check him, Doc. He is in rough shape. His pulse is not good. He
All right.
He is on the doorstep of death.
All right. Well, let's get to work here.
You are going to absolutely need to get him back to the Ilios.
Yep, I am going to. I'm imagining that there isn't a stretcher or anything the like. So first off, with my medicine check, can I see if I can relieve the pain first off?
Yeah.
Okay. So first thing I do is, son, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do for you, but I can't wait for you to give me the yay or nay. All right, we're gonna relieve the pain, and then I'm gonna take you to a medical station, and we're gonna get you taken care of.
He doesn't look like he hears you. He looks like he's kind of muttering to himself.
Okay, I'm going to give him the painkillers.
Okay, you give him a quick shot. You only give him enough to steady his pulse, but yeah. Your medicine check. You're not going to be stabilizing him with this, but it is going to help him. He looks like he's out of it anyway. Reg looks like he's probably on his way into unconsciousness, or he's fluttering on the edges of consciousness.
It's half a mercy thing where we're relieving the pain, and it's a half I can't have him fighting me. And we ain't got anything to move him. I need him moved immediately.
We have to do this very quietly. Can any of your crew maybe?
Yes. If I could have somebody go and retrieve my friend Isaac.
Isaac. Very well. I can look into doing that. But if you could just do this quietly.
I'm gonna need you to inform me, Doctor, what is the necessity for quietness.
The administrator can't know that we're moving him.
We don't have time to get into this now, but we will be revisiting this later. My number one priority, administrator be damned, is to make sure that this man is taken care of.
Okay.
All due respect, Doctor, and I know you've been through a lot. I need you to get someone or get yourself to my friend Isaac and have him.
Isaac, yes. I'll return in a moment. And he opens the door and steps out and starts heading down the corridor.
I'm just gonna take a cooling pack out of my med kit and put it on this guy's forehead.
He should be dead. That's all you keep thinking.
Yeah.
As you put this cold pack on his forehead, he should be dead. He should be dead. He should be dead. He is certainly the state he's in right now with that medicine check. You don't suspect he is. It would be a miracle if he survived the next 24 hours. You might have arrived at just the right moment, but there's no guarantee you're going to be able to save this man's life. It's so bad right now. He's probably suffering sepsis. He's probably suffering all kinds of badness right now. The leg is probably only a part of his problem at this point.
Yeah, this is like the Reg is usually very like, I want to make sure bedside manner is priority, but right now it's just there's none of that, and it's just laser focused. You know, keep him comfortable, keep him alive. He's not dying. Like, it's just locked in now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. While this is happening, Martha, you've been taken aside as Lee has led you out of the room. Who was following Lee? Because I know there were some folks that broke up. Some of y'all were headed back to the Ilios. Is that correct?
whatever was basically whatever we were needed for. Kind of Tig is just like, yeah, I'll start moving stuff if people need things moved, or
O'Donnell would follow you.
if we're supposed to give this get this tour, I would go with the tour. But if it would make sense for us to start orchestrating supply movements, I think Tig is like kind of antsy to do that. So if that would make sense right now, then yeah, she'll take O'Donnell
probably
and we'll
so
go.
that it. Yeah, in which case, yeah, Donald will follow you out and start.
And I don't know if Isaac would like to go, would rather stay with Martha or come with us, but I know we don't know if they're going to be grabbed soon yet, so.
I think Isaac will go along with the tour in order to understand. They have their own completely separate triage from the engineering perspective and figuring out what's broken where and when and all that.
Perfect, yeah. Yeah, well, so I'll split off with O'Donnell and we'll try to start moving stuff.
Okay. You were led into one of the corridors then, Martha, and Lee just turns a corner and stops. And she glances back down the way y'all came and sees that it's empty. And it's at that point, Martha, you begin to realize for a colony of 800 people, you've only seen 3 people so far. For a colony filled with 800 people, you've only come across a couple of station staff. The next thing you note as you are rounded the corner and Lee looks back is that it's quiet here. You can hear the thrumming of the ambient noise of the atmospheric processors working and the struggling filtration systems of the air scrubbers. But you don't hear the hustle and bustle of a mining colony filled with 800 people. And Lee takes one last look, and she looks back at you, and she's, okay, so here's the real situation. 800 is inaccurate, more like 300, and it's been bad, real bad. I know we keep saying that, but the administrator's not helping us here. The administrator's trying to keep Weyland-Yutani safe from the Colonial Protection Act because of how the colonies have been treated. And I would do something about it. Except for a good portion of the colonial staff here is also Weyland-Yutani, and they're being offered a hefty sum of money to make sure this information doesn't get back. So I'm Colonial Marshal in title only. He doesn't know I know a lot of this stuff. It's the only way I was able to get you out of that room. She glances again down the hallway. So
300?
Yeah. They didn't report any fatalities when the first raid happened because he made a deal with them.
The Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders. It's not just the Raiders, though. No, the Raiders are long gone. But, he's hiding something else. I don't know what it is. I haven't been able to access any of his files or anything. I don't have authorization. Something else he's hiding.
We could maybe try to take a look at them.
Yeah, if you want to chance it. The 300 people that are left, most of them are just sick miners who he's been working even though the colony hasn't been able to operate. He's been having them go back down into the mines. His whole rationale was that when Weyland-Yutani finally shows up, we need to be able to show them something for it, or no one's getting paid.
Do you get a sense that this person is he still in touch with reality? Is this all coming from a specific place, do you sense, or is he just completely out of touch?
I think he snapped a while ago. He's not being sensible. He's not being reasonable about anything. He is in pure self-preservation mode, and I couldn't stop him. He's got at least 50 on his side that are all expecting a fat payday when this wraps up. So I pretend like I'm his best buddy.
I know how this sentence sounds, but where are the bodies buried?
You see the jaw clench again, and she just says, they're not. He just had them thrown to the bottom of the mine.
Okay, well, sad to say, but that is evidence against him. Thank you for letting me know.
Hey, be careful, okay? 50 people? I would have made a move a long time ago to enforce colonial law if I could have, but I've been having to play real nice. I'm just gonna tell you this right now. He's hiding something. I don't know what it is. I got a lot of my access revoked in the early months. After the first couple of raids, he caved way too fast to those raiders. Something he didn't want them to see either. I've been having to play real stupid around him.
Okay, noted. It seems like we're going to be here a while to help get things set up. Can we talk some more soon?
Don't you leave without me. Get me off this hell colony.
Absolutely, Colin. Absolutely.
Marshall would be her title.
Marshall. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Marshall. She glances down the hallway again, and you do see somebody is coming. And she just goes, so that's the problem with the air scrubbers anyway. She just knocks on the top of the wall over your head. You see a gentleman walking down the corridor, about 6'2", looks like maybe a minor. He just kind of glances, then he stops and kind of double takes when he sees you, Martha, and then he continues walking. Probably surprised to see a new face as he's walking by. Doesn't do a good job playing it off, and keeps making his way down the corridor before taking a right.
Yeah, it'll take some time, but we can swap those out and get a better airflow coming through here.
Okay.
Okay. Martha starts heading back towards the... Actually, I'm gonna... could you show me where the mid-bay is? I'd like to see my captain.
Yeah. She leads you down one of the corridors. As you're approaching one of the corridors, you see Dr. Catlow wringing his hands as the elderly gentleman is making his way down the corridor. Even though y'all are standing out in front of him, he does not react like he sees you. And he stops and goes, ah! And the marshal just looks at him, kind of narrows her eyes a little bit, and he says, oh, Marshal. Hello again. What can I do for you? Did you need help with something? And she says, we were actually coming to find you. Do you know where her doctor friend is? Oh, yes. Yes, he is in one of the patient's quarters. I think you know the one. The marshal goes, how is he? And he just says, Dr. Albright is going to do what he can for him. I think there's an intention of getting him back to the ship. And Lee steps forward and says, you can't let the administrator see you move him to the ship. He says, no, I know. But we either move him to the ship or he dies. It would have been a mercy to have killed him a week ago. The agony this man has been going through is... I don't know what to do anymore. Lee turns and looks at you and says, the administrator doesn't want anyone knowing what the real state of this place is. He does not want the law coming down on his colony because of what it will mean for him and his lackeys. Is it possible to get a man back to your ship without letting the administrator see?
Well, two things. Number one, distraction for him. Number two, you said he has people who probably are watching, so we'd need a bigger distraction for them.
Marshall She thinks for a moment and says, we could put them all to work. Making space, making room, preparing for delivery. It'll be a very small window of time. At that point, the doctor speaks up and says, small window is all we have left for him. We either do this now or he dies. And he's not the only one that needs help. He's just the most in need at the moment.
We could even try to make that window a little bit bigger. You've already told me about the air scorper problem. Are there some type of alerts or alarm system when it gets above a certain point of contamination?
There is.
We could trip that alarm when we need it.
Shiko and Tanahashi are allies. They could help us with this.
That's good to hear. Those are the engineers, right?
Yes, Shiko basically is sort of the organizer of the workforce. She's kind of a manager. Tanahashi, he's the engineer of the colony. He hasn't been in very good shape. He's been getting very much sleep. It's hard to be an engineer when you have nothing to use to repair the place. I can contact one of them. I could contact Shiko and see if she can help us.
Okay. I think the plan here should be that we trip that alarm in the area between the med bay and getting to our ship and push everyone to the other side of the med bay. We should have a clear exit then.
This would be very tricky. I'll go see if she has any suggestions, but good idea. I'll let her know. Thank you. And he starts heading towards the med bay.
I'd like to follow him.
Okay. The marshal says, I need to head back to the administrator's office or it's going to start looking suspicious.
Okay. Another question. What is the surveillance around here? Are there cameras or recordings or anything?
No cameras like that. But there's plenty of observation inside the administrator's office for security reasons.
Okay. Good.
Also external cameras as well.
Oh, there are?
External, yes. Security cameras on the outside.
Where our ship is?
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to figure that out too.
Okay.
All right.
It's worth noting, she pipes up, it's worth noting that our sensors have been offline for ages now. We can't see outside the facility.
Okay.
He's going to prioritize getting those up. I don't know why, but he's going to. I think leaving them down as long as we can is going to be helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I said, but I'm Corporal Martha Marrero.
Corporal.
Did I say
Lee
corporal?
extends your hand. Says,
Am I a corporal? I'm so sorry.
you're like, wait a minute.
Am I a corporal?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. Yep, that is your official rank. Because you were a team leader of your unit, if I remember correctly.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So she pivots on her heel and starts heading back.
Okay, I follow the doctor.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at the Ilios, you guys are unloading, rather, I should say, what is this heavy machinery roll? Hold on, I have to check to see what... Let me see what O'Donnell can do with heavy machinery. He does not have a class 3 rating. Okay. All right, I'm going to roll for him.
Oh boy. I try to direct. Be like, okay, let's go a little further.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. He's going to push.
Oh god.
He's going to gain a point of stress. He wants to help. He's going to push. And I roll a 6 on the stress die.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you see he gets inside of one of the power loaders, and just straps himself in. And as he steps out, he goes, "Woo," and he goes, "Oh shit! It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Take
Just takes
it
me a
easy.
second."
Yeah, you got it.
And all of a sudden, Noir's PDT chip just goes offline.
Oh no.
The dock just literally disappears. Everyone
At
gain a point of
last.
stress.
My moment
At
has come.
Yeah. It's revealed at that point that Isaac is picking you all off one by one. All right, and welcome back.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Oh, I think you're not on the right mic there, Noir. Yeah. All right. You see he in the power loader, it takes him a second as he tries to get used to it, but you see him move his arms for a second, and he goes, it's the damn thumbstick. It's always throwing me off. And
It's old, it's a little rusty, it's a little trigger happy. Come on, this one's full of gauze, you won't break anything. Come on.
And he goes, I really should be letting Isaac do this. I am terrible at this.
Me too, bud. But you're the better option of the two of us. Let's do it.
Yeah, he has a 1 in heavy machinery. Actually, hold on. I'm wondering, does power loader require heavy machinery or piloting? I bet you it's heavy machinery.
Probably. It's piloting feels like a finesse.
Yeah, I bet you anything it's heavy machinery.
Yeah.
I bet you anything they wouldn't let anybody get away with.
No, 'cause that feels very that's like a very physical task.
Yeah.
To actively, yeah.
I have a feeling, let's see, personal armor, close combat, salvage crane. I just want to make sure I've got the right dice pool for this. Because at some point, one of y'all is probably going to have to use one of these things in case, you ever get a xenomorph queen on your ship and you need to throw her out.
Pardon? My audio cut out.
Let's see.
Androids don't feel stress.
Tig is
Armor
very
rating
gently
3.
razzing him the entire time.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's heavy machinery, but curiously enough, it also gives you a +3 to close combat.
Ooh, that's fun.
Base
away
damage of
from
3 in close combat. Yeah. Okay, so yes, he's making his heavy machinery roll. In that case, he is fighting through it, but you can tell, Tig, he is rusty. But he manages to get one of the pallets. He goes, oh,
Nice. Yeah.
oh,
Step
I'm alive.
one. Step one.
Step 1.
Okay. A lot more to go. Let's do it.
No problem.
I'm gonna start. I think Tig will just start prioritizing box, because now that she and the doc went through all of this, I think medical supplies feels like the big one, and then food. And if no one has anything to say, if we don't get any hey, we really need something for these parts for this the air scrubber, we're just gonna I think do rations, food stuff, and medical stuff first. So she'll just kind of start tagging pallets that she thinks needs to go up first.
Okay, you're organizing it all right.
She's gonna try.
Yeah, Tig, you were never a logistics officer, but is some people like to frown. Logistics people may not see the frontline combat stuff, but I mean, the Corps doesn't work without logistics. Mm-mm. And you are learning. You are just sitting here getting an extraordinary appreciation for okay, this. Let's move this. Get this out of the way.
Yeah,
okay,
just full in. Yeah, she's got several notepads or note cards on a panel, kind of red stringing it. Okay, actually, we're gonna shuffle this around, kind of.
Yeah.
We're making do. We're gonna make it happen.
Okay.
Unless there is I don't think there's actually anything else that she can do to physically assist with this. So she's
Not
just gonna
really.
kind of help with orchestrating to the best of her ability.
Yeah, you can see, especially because he's now got a point of stress, you can see Jackson's a little on the nervous side as he's operating this lifter, but he's making
she's
do.
Fully razzing him as we're going. Anytime he's not doing something completely that's very gently, it's
Sure.
the moving back to the. She's like, all right, come on, you can go faster than that. Come on, let's go. Just fully. And then when he needs to focus, she'll let him focus. But
Making his life hell.
Trying
Gotcha. Okay.
to keep it light. He just doesn't
Sure.
want him stressed right now.
All right. So, where is Isaac while all this is happening?
That's a great question. Last we checked about it, there was a tour, but then the tour, it seems, wasn't a tour. And the loading is happening, and Kat Lau is looking for, but not finding me. So I have this terrible impression that for all they thought that like there was something that they were going to just wait here and do, and then like someone would show them where they ought to go, that never happened. And so I think they went to go
Assess?
find some just there. Some would some call it wandering? Yes, I think that's actually exactly the right word.
You've decided to give a visual assessment of what is required to further make the process more efficient.
That looks so much better on paperwork.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That one.
In which case, Isaac, as you have turned down yet another corridor and examined, indeed, the air scrubbers are not in great shape in this place. The air scrubbers don't need to be replaced that often, but the environmental control system of this place has not been properly maintained in a few months from what you would guess. But you too are starting to notice the logistics of a colony of 800 people being not present. It stands to reason that at some point you would have passed a colonist or a miner at some point, which leads you to wonder if this place is on lockdown or if anyone's home. As you round a corner, continuing your visual assessment, you see a corridor of doors that looks like, from what you can see in the, think of it like light up signposts letting you know which section of the facility you're in. As you turn this left corner, you see it looks like it's sort of the habitation hub. So quarters, barracks. You see it written in different languages and light up. It's just a row of doors that are all closed. What you see is maybe just in this hallway alone about 60 doors going down a long metal corridor that branches off at the very end. Make an observation check.
Oh, there are so many people who are more qualified than I. Good thing they're not here. Good thing they're not here. That's a no.
Okay. You move down the corridor, glancing around. When you reach the end of the corridor, you come to what would be the intersection, as it were, the sort of the T that branches off left and right. And the last door at the very end of the hallway is open, but no one is inside. You see what looks like a pretty sparse-looking quarters, but it looks like the furniture in here has been removed. And it looks quite empty, like somebody has cleared these quarters out, maybe recently.
I'll poke my head in.
To glance inside, you see personal effects apparently are still in here, but it looks like it is about a little bit larger, in fact, than the quarters that you would have you've been given back on Beacon Station. Looks like there's a kitchen area, has its own power source. Looks like it has its own hygiene closet or shower, as it were. You can see a bed, but the bed itself looks like it is just a mattress on the floor, which is not matching the aesthetic of the rest of the place, like something has been pulled up or removed. You see a mirror that has a lot of pictures on it. Looks like people, smiles on their face, arm in arm. Some people in the pictures look a little bit younger. You think one of them might be a wedding photo, but it's hard to say because it doesn't look like it's a traditional styled wedding. You see what would appear to be a set of papers that have looks like slightly rubbed off, maybe the ink is smeared, but it looks like it's an old set of papers of documentation of some kind. Hard to read what it is, but judging by the letterhead, it looks like it's just sort of a day-to-day checklist for the colony itself. Kind of glancing at it, doesn't look like it's anything particularly useful. But the ink is all smeared, like it's been out in the rain. The rest of the quarters looks oddly sparse. But you don't really see anything on the inside. Nothing else really jumps out at you. It is just incredibly odd how it seems to just be open and empty like this.
I'll attempt to commit the faces to memory.
Okay.
And I now have a new notion of what I would like to look for, I think.
Okay.
One tractor cannot take any number of miners. The 4 kilometers away, we know that the mine is located. Where's the transport for them to get back and forth from this hub? Where's the bus? I want to find where the bus would be, since clearly, absolutely everyone must be working on shift right now.
Okay.
Where's the bus? Busward.
How do you plan on looking for the bus? Where would you like to look first?
Well, so I know it. Have we ever seen, did we get to see the station overhead, as Jackson was landing, for instance, to see the shape?
Mm-hmm.
So I know one entrance already. That was the one with the tractors.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most logical place relative to the other, like the geometry of the station, is probably the one nearest the mine or nearest any. Did we see a road from aerial?
You don't recall seeing a road from aerial.
Very fair. My observation is absolute booty.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go to the side of the building. That's the direction you'd go for the mine.
Okay.
That's where I would put a bus. I'm not in charge of city planning.
You step into what would be the airlock and just close it up, and the environmental controls begin to switch. You hear alerts going off and an automated voice saying, "Warning, it is unsafe to step outside without the proper environmental equipment. It is advised that you wear a face mask." As about that point, the door goes and the toxic air fills the interior. You step out into the planet's atmosphere and glance around, Isaac. You see out here, the light of this planet is quite beautiful. It looks like in this part of the hemisphere that you are stuck in a perpetual setting sun. You can also see and hear the rolling dust storms off in the distance, storming over the mountaintops, and the distant gray clouds and the flashes of lightning. You glance to your left and you can see the tops of the Ilios on the other side of the facility, because the Ilios is big. The facility itself is about 2 stories high, but the Ilios still peaks up over the top. When you step out into this area, you come to what looks like immediately the first thing you notice, Isaac, is this looks like indeed some kind of loading area or staging area of some kind. It's not just dust in front of you. It looks like there has been Duracrete or something that's been laid here and has been created what would be described as almost like a small parking lot. But you see this great stationway area that has multiple outlets and refills for what seems to be a maintenance station, perhaps for masks. For example, if somebody needs to switch out an air mask, or if there is a refresher that needs any kind of like oxygen tank or anything like that, that seems to be what you see out here, which immediately invokes in you a sense that this is probably where the bus stop is. And as you approach it and glance around, make me an observation check.
Rockin' everywhere. Hey, rockin' everywhere. 3 5s.
Don't forget, in the future, you can call upon your story points when you feel like they're appropriate.
Yep,
you glance around and you see no sign of a bus. There is no sign of any kind of transport, but it definitely looks like this place was used for one.
Anything I can pick up from the refill station about how recently it was last used?
You move over to it and just, first of all, it's pretty crude. It looks like just a giant plastic, almost like an electrician's box that's been welded onto the side of one of the stands where people can sit. And reaching over, you just pull it open, and it is completely empty, save for one rebreather that's got a tube that's just flapping in the breeze. As you look down at it, it looks like there is a resupply of oxygen that is available, that is installed inside of this place for anybody who might be running low on air, but looks like it is at empty. Judging from the amount of dust that is collected in here, it's probably been a hot minute since this has been used.
Okay, then I must be at the wrong bus stop. They must have multiple, which makes sense with a colony of 800 people. So, I guess there has to be a different side to the building. I'll have to walk around.
Okay.
This would be so uncomfortable for humans.
Yeah, as you close it up and glance around, Isaac, you definitely get a sense that they must be operating in some kind of limited capacity right now if the mine is still working. But maybe there's a shift right now and the transport's at the mine. But does seem strange. Everything about this seems strange to you. And you continue your perimeter walk around the outside. Open, exposed, of course, as a synthetic. You do not have to worry about the toxicity of the air. You just walk around and glance at this planet. The temperature out here is comfortable enough for humans. You would probably put this, if you were going to use the cursed freedom units, of about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It's well within the Goldilocks zone. If the air wasn't toxic, this might be a suitable place, considering it has oceans and rivers. You can only imagine that Weyland-Yutani might want to consider turning this into an actual full-fledged colony. Why they decided to mine here instead is hard to say, but you do recall them saying that they did want to at least try to change the atmosphere. Something about the raid that caused the atmospheric processor to stop working, and it hasn't been restored since. They were rather vague about that part. And you continue your circuit around the building. By the time you reach the front of the building, you manage to round the corner and approach just in time to see Tig just bringing out a very nervous-looking Jackson on the power loader and just taking it one step at a time. You can tell O'Donnell is not comfortable, but he is getting the job done. But he may not be licensed to actually be using the power loader from just looking at him.
You've got it. Okay, just a few more steps.
I don't feel like I got it.
Just a few more. You've got. Look how far you've gotten. That's like so many steps. We're so close. Just come on. You almost got it. Let's go. Tig is like, this is so terrifying, but outwardly she's like, come on.
To their credit, Isaac, as you approach, it looks like they've gotten about 6 pallets already out onto the path. Yeah. But as you approach, you see O'Donnell spot you and goes, Jesus, Isaac, holy shit. You scared the hell out of me.
He was just focusing really hard. He was not looking at his surroundings, because that's my job, apparently.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting people to just walk up on us out here.
Do you have some free time, perchance?
I probably shouldn't. I was thinking I would start with that tractor. I point to Tarp Tractor.
That's fair, too. Is there any way we could use that to get stuff out of here, or is that not really a...
No.
Probably not. Okay.
We'd want more of a forklift for that task, but
that's true.
It would be good transport to go to the mine. I'm trying to go to the mine.
What's in the mine?
Everybody.
That's
okay.
Ominous.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would explain why this place feels like a ghost town.
Huh. Yeah, I was noticing that, too.
It's true. We arrived during a day shift. Yeah.
So I thought I would go over there. But I don't want to use their one working tractor, so I thought I would get the other one working. Plus, it has a name, so I think that means people like it, so it would probably be a good boost to morale if I got it working.
Makes sense to me. Should we be worried?
But I could help with the power loader if you're nervous. You seem like you're nervous.
Yes. Do you want to take over here? That would be great.
No, I want to work on the tractor, but I can Do the power loader.
No.
We've got this.
I'll-
You've
I'll-
got it.
yeah,
We're
I'll-
good.
I got to learn how to get this down, so I'll do it.
Any
It's fine.
pointers for him before you go be a superhero on a,
Yeah.
on a tractor?
Anything I should know?
Yes. I'd like to. Could I climb up onto the power loader's shoulder and show him a few things?
Yeah. You just hoist yourself up, and he glances over at you, and you see him take his hand off the controls, and yeah. Tell you what, I
Wish
will.
I had a camera.
I will
just this-
call. I'll call this an assist on his next roll. He'll get a +1 die to the roll.
You're
All
teaching
right.
me piloting, after all.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, you owe me one, huh?
This is piloting. Sort of.
Piloting exchange.
There are controls, and the vehicle goes where you tell it to, even if it's not where you want it to.
He just nods and says, "Oh, yeah, I'll try to use that as anxiety management, Isaac. That's not a bad point, actually."
I pat the power loader's shoulder,
Ding, ding.
and I'll jump down.
Okay, you hop down into the dirt. Meanwhile, inside the facility, we have to coordinate what's going on between Martha and what's going on with Dr. Albright.
Doc. Has Martha made it into the med room that Doc's in?
We'll say that you've arrived.
I think Doc is just gonna go, Martha. Good. I need help getting this man to the ship. He does not have long.
Martha, did you serve in the Frontier War? I think you did, right?
I did.
Yeah. You've seen shit like this before. The moment you walk in, the moment you smell the air. You've seen shit like this before. You've never seen it go this long, this bad. That is new, but you've seen it. He is on death's door.
Oh, yeah. I ran into the doctor on the way here and got some info from Lee. We have a lot to talk about, Doctor. And he mentioned this person. We need to do it undercover, apparently.
That's what he says. But between me and you, and pardon my language in advance, but I don't give a shit about the goddamn whatever his name is. This man is about to die. We need to get him to the med station immediately.
Yeah, okay. Isaac, right?
I
don't see any gurneys or anything here.
We can't wait for Isaac. The doctor said he was gonna go get Isaac. Isaac will find us on the way. But
Okay,
just
yeah.
take an arm, and we will.
Got him.
Okay.
We're just
He's the noise he makes when you pick him from the bed. He's so out of it. He is only registering the extraordinary pain that is coursing through his entire body as you lift him from the bed.
Do I know anything to knock him out?
Doc, you cannot put this man under right now.
I can't. I gave him as much as I could for the pain.
Yeah.
Anything more would compromise his system.
Okay.
You have been a stalwart, a soldier of a man. I just need 5 more minutes. I just need 5 more minutes of your strength.
Yeah,
All
come
right.
on, buddy. We got you, buddy. Come on.
All right, so who between you has what are your strength scores?
You can see Doc is struggling with this.
Okay. Martha, what is your strength stamina is what we're going to be rolling here.
Oh, well. 3 is my strength, and my stamina is 1.
Okay, so 4 dice. You're going to get a bonus die because the doc is helping you.
Yeah, I have 2 strength and 1 stamina.
So Doc is going to give you a bonus die. So it'll be a total of 5 dice.
I
which
would
you'll be
love to
rolling.
spend a story point right now.
Okay, so you've spent a story point. That means that all 5s are now successes as well.
Woo!
If you push the roll, it does not stay that way. You have to make 6s on the push roll, just so you know.
Okay.
So
All
it's
right.
just for this one roll.
Thank God. 3 successes. 2
All
of them are fives.
right. Yeah, Martha, as you lift him, he is a minor. This guy, you can tell, he's probably pushing about 220, 225. As you lift him up,
Strong man.
you've been through this training before. You remember what it was like in basic when you had one of your team members on your back and you had to crawl through mud. It was part of the basic training of pulling somebody out of a combat is one of the things you had to go through, and it just comes crashing back into you. Remember to steady your breathing. You remember use your thighs when you're moving, kick your legs forward, save as much strength as you can as you're moving. Doc, you take his legs because that's going to be the roughest part of this carry. You're having to hold the wood that's keeping his leg intact as you lift him up. And he makes this tortured groaning sound as you lift him. He's in whatever dream state he's in. The pain is probably the only real thing that's getting through right now. He probably has no idea where it's coming from. He is so out of it. But as you lift him, he goes, oh, and he's whimpering cry. And the two of you just quickly start moving him down the corridor. You move him down. Let's see, there's going to be 3 corridors to pass. You move him down about, I'll say about halfway. At the halfway point, you're going to need to make, no, I would say by the time you're getting towards the entrance of the place, you're going to need to make another roll.
Okay.
Okay. Same roll?
Mm-hmm. But you also still get the +1. So it'll be 5 dice.
All right. Are we at that point yet, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one stopped you guys.
All right. Good. Okay. How many story points do we have left?
Now you have 9.
Does anyone mind if I do this again?
I don't mind at all. Like, if you don't do it, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
so.
I will spend it then.
Okay, so first off, thank you, Vance, for the first story point.
Thank you,
And
Vance.
Aether Spoon, thank you for the second one.
What was it? Ether spoon?
Aether Spoon.
Aether spoon. Thank
Aether
you.
Spoon, yeah.
Okay.
All right, 5s counts as successes.
God, 3 successes.
Nice.
2 are 5s.
Outside, Isaac, as you're glancing at this tractor, you can see this tractor has had what looks like engine problems as you're looking underneath it. The tarp has been put over it, but you can see that the tractor, in all intents and purposes, is in working shape, but it needs heavy maintenance, and it looks like it requires parts that they're probably out of. And as you're glancing over this, the front doors open to the colony, and an old man who you identify as the doctor comes out and says, you see, you can't fully understand what he says underneath his mask as he comes out, kind of blocking out the sun, and says it again, and then he points in your direction, Isaac, and then starts waving you over.
All right, I make my way over.
Okay? You make your way over, and he's, Isaac, you're Isaac.
Yes.
Your crewmates, Martha and Dr. Albright, have requested you to help them move somebody discreetly and quickly as possible. Somebody needs to be taken to the medical bay very soon.
Of course.
The doors open behind him. And you see emerging from the corridor, wearing their face masks, with a mask crudely put onto somebody that they're carrying. You see Martha and Albright struggling as they bring out what looks like a terribly injured human. You guys spot Isaac blessedly in front of you about 30 feet talking to the doctor just as you all emerge.
Isaac, please, I need you.
You rush over. The doctor looks at you, Isaac, and says, do you need a mask? Should I get you a mask?
We're set here.
Okay.
Go
He
get
takes- Isaac, you reach down and you watch as Isaac effortlessly picks the man up from your arms. The both of you feeling the burn in your muscles starting to relax, your shoulders, the aching in your fingers, all of it finding some release as Isaac immediately unburdens you.
I support the torso with one arm, and then my other arm is cradling the harness of his leg, and then the other leg across my arm, just trying to support as much of it as possible.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like wipe the sweat off this guy's forehead and go, "Almost there, son. Almost there," and immediately run to get the med station prepped for him.
Okay. You take him into the ship, the Ilios. You bring him into the cargo bay, and Jackson turns, looks down at you as you're bringing him in, and goes, "Oh shit! Holy shit!"
Oh, okay.
Do you want to? I can stop if you want to go do that.
I'm gonna go see if I can help. We'll follow and assist.
Yeah, Tig, you just
Not been
glancing at
apprised of any of the
Yeah.
espionage. Oh shit. Okay, let's go.
You enter into the environmental controlled airlock of the cargo bay. A few moments later, you're in the clear environment of the internal systems of the Ilios. Isaac effortlessly taking him to the medical facility up on A deck.
Now we're just running.
Yeah. Outside, a few moments later, the doctor who's followed them in, Jackson unstraps and gets down from the power lifter and walks over to you, Martha, and goes, "The fuck is that all about? Is it that bad?"
I take a quick look around, see if anyone, especially the administrator, is coming.
Roll observation.
Okay. What is my observation? Okay. Not bad. Numbers wise, let's see if that works. Two successes.
You see the administrator all right.
Is he walking towards us?
No, he's looking down at you from one of the windows on the second floor of the administration, the hub of the administration hub. That remember I said looked out over the Ilios?
Yeah.
You can see him. He's leaning out to the window and watching all of you. Now, the windows are mostly tinted, so you can see his form, but it's definitely him.
Is this the same building that we just took the patient out of?
Yeah, it's all one building.
Oh, okay.
It's all one big, huge facility.
Okay.
But it just so happens the administration hub literally faces the landing area.
Okay. And do I have a sense of whether he saw?
At 2 successes, I can give you the answer is yeah, he saw that. Fuck. He definitely saw that.
Okay. Well, if he's not moving, then
Nope.
I'm gonna
Like
say
a gargoyle on the side of a cathedral. He is just watching you guys. He's not doing anything.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say under my breath to Jackson, I'm actually going to just like pat his back jovially in my body language and say, just keep unloading and listen to me carefully. And I'll pick up or I guess they're all on big pallets. So I'll just like, help Jackson do what he was doing before, fill in for Tig. And while we're doing that, I'll say quietly, there's 500 less people alive here than we thought, than we were told.
Fuck.
The administrator seems to have lost touch with reality and is in self-preservation mode, does not want to report this in, is in fear of losing his power with Wayland Yutani. It's a really bad situation.
What the fuck?
I've talked to some staff who sounds like they desperately want out, but also they need help. They need serious help to manage this situation.
If it's just one guy, let's just go in there and put a gun to his head and tell him to go fuck himself. Let's get everyone out of here.
He has about 50 people who are loyal to him. There's also, again, looking around.
Okay.
There's evidence. There's hard physical evidence of where those bodies are. The
Bodies.
500 missing people.
500 missing people
Yeah.
are dead.
Yeah.
Holy shit. This
Yeah.
is so fucked. I knew it was going to be bad, but fuck.
I know.
And he's hiding
Yeah.
it?
Well, he hid it from us. He told us there were 807.
Holy shit.
There's
I can't
not.
trust this guy. Okay, yeah. All
No.
right. Okay. So what the fuck do we do? He's just trying to cover his ass? That's
He's
all
trying
this is?
I mean, it sounds like it. It also just sounds like he does not psychologically realize the gravity of the situation, and he's prioritized things that should not be prioritized right now.
You think
Sounds like he's desperate.
You think it's worth trying to talk to him and maybe just say, hey, we don't have to report this. We just want to help people?
I mean, that's what we're here. We're already going to do that. So we can definitely keep doing that. But I think we're going to need to call in some backup.
Backup? I mean, they're not going to be here for at least, I mean, if we call Beacon, they're not going to be here for 14 days. If we call anybody else, who
Not
knows
Beacon.
them? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I can make a call.
You can? You can do that?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Wow, this is a lot. So how long do you think it'll take them to get here?
It will take a while. So yeah, we do need to do something to
Okay, so
at
back
least minimize suffering.
So last resort, we send out a SOS to call in the Marines.
I don't know if it's the last resort. I think we do that and then we make sure more people don't die until they get here.
So we call in the Marines and then we try to solve the problem ourselves while they're on their way. That's
I
probably
think so.
expedient. Sure, I'll follow your lead, Martha. You're the corporal. Like I've never.
I'm not the captain though. Haven't had a chance to talk to the captain yet, but
All right, so I guess we'll talk to the captain as soon as he's done saving that dude's life. Shit. Fuck, I feel like I jinxed this. He was trying to be so positive and I was being so cynical.
there's no way. There's no way this was not going to be a shit show.
Oh my god, but fucking Wheeling-Yutani, man.
Yeah.
He's
I want to
You look
glance
back?
back up at the
He's not there.
window. Oh no, I'm scared. Okay. That's what Martha says inside. But outside,
O'Donnell continues on. He just says, fucking, I mean, the CPA got passed because of shit like this. Because of shit like this. The whole colony warp is because of fucking shit like this.
yeah, hey, just in case there are ears, just
Oh, fuck. Okay. It's like that.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Yeah, sorry. I cuss a lot when I'm freaking out.
Yeah, me too.
All right. I'm just going to keep pretending like I know how to operate this power loader then.
You don't know how to operate this?
Fuck no.
Then why are you?
Because Tig was like, you're better at this than I am. And, you know, I figured I should probably learn. When I'm not flying the ship, I got to be useful. So, you know, I'm doing my thing.
Okay, how's it going?
Haven't crashed, and I got 6 pallets out.
Yeah, that's actually surprisingly good.
Okay, I have a sidearm. Should I be wearing that?
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Okay, I'll get that on
Just-
the next...
Really conceal it.
It's a Magnum. I don't know how I can conceal that. I'll wear my jacket. What the hell? Sorry, I shouldn't be... yeah, I'll conceal it.
Yep.
Do you know how many
Martha
people-
actually pats where she has hers because she
Yeah.
doesn't go anywhere without at least her pistol.
Not only that, but you've got a full-on damn assault rifle when you need it, Martha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's in my locker. It's going to stay in my locker
Okay.
on missions like this unless I know I'm going to need it. So that's where that is right now.
So, giving you a nod, O'Donnell continues to move the pallets and puts out at least one more before turning back and heading back up into the bay and unclasps, unstraps, powers down the power loader, flips on the safety, pulls himself out as he pushes up the harness and climbs down and just goes, okay, I'm going to go get my gun.
Okay. I'll stay here in case we have any visitors.
I'm going to run. And he moves out of the hangar. Before... What's up?
O'Donnell, as he's running away, I'm just going to say, how long does it take to get this thing up in the air?
The Ilios?
Yeah.
Maybe 10 minutes?
And, okay, once you turn on the engines, everyone knows we're leaving, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
Helios
All right.
is not a quiet bird.
Got it. Noted. Okay. I'll be here.
All right. He dashes. You managed to get him laid out onto the medical bed. Isaac, your blue flight suit is covered in rancid blood as you take a step back. And the doctor, rubbing his temples, immediately moves over and starts to wash his hands.
Yeah, I was gonna take his immediate beelining. General impression. What is happening right now?
Having infection, need for amputation.
Copy?
Lord knows what else. We're gonna give him a good full rundown, but we need
You work on that leg. I will do secondary injuries.
and get this man some antibiotics.
Yeah. We're pulling out pain,
Okay.
antibiotics, and all the stuff. And then while the doctors deal with the leg, Tig is gonna look for secondary injuries, because she doesn't know, was this a fall?
Sure.
Do we have spinal injuries? Do we have what is the situation? She's gonna kind of anything but the leg and let them kind of do that.
Tig, as you are washing up, the old doctor looks at you and goes, "You're a doctor too?
Medic,
You've done this before?"
unfortunately.
He stops and puts his hand on your hand and he says, "I don't think I'm in the condition to perform surgery right now."
Tig's gonna take a second, was not really paying attention to him because we were big patient, and then big loud scary thing happening to this patient, and she kind of does a visual assessment. Are you good? Like kind of a hold on.
You're looking at a man that it doesn't look like he has had a night's sleep in a while. Make me a medical aid check.
Oh my gosh. Okay. For this guy, right? This is no, I don't have this isn't with my kit or anything, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. One success.
Okay. You glance at him, and then you kind of see some telltale signs. You lean in and you put your hands on his face, and he doesn't resist, and he just stares at you as you kind of pull his eyelids open and give him a look. Tig, you served in the Marines. You served on the front line during the Frontier War. You've been around people like snipers who have used Never Sleep before.
Oh no.
This doctor, you can't imagine how long he's been awake, but you've seen the telltale signs of consistent use of Never Sleep, which is dangerous after taking more than a single dose. Yeah, it gets dangerous, but you can see the way his pupils are reacting, the way the veins are starting to protrude inside of his eyes. He looks like he has probably been suffering from exhaustion.
Oh my God.
For a while.
Does nap relief counteract the effects of overuse of Never Sleep?
Nap relief will knock his ass out.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do. She's gonna be like, okay,
yeah.
We're gonna sit down. I'm gonna have him I'm gonna hand him a glass of water, and then I'm gonna hand him a nap relief, and I'm like, I don't want to see you for 12, 13 hours, okay? And there's if there's a cot that I can just put him on in the back, or one of the other beds, because it's that kind of star formation, right in the med bay. Yeah.
Oh, there's plenty of there's 3 medical beds in here, so you can put him on one of the other medical beds.
Just lay him down, get him a glass of water, a granola bar, and then...
He doesn't resist any of this. When he lays down, you hear him groan as you immediately take a small injection of a few cc's of Naproline, and immediately you just see his eyes flutter a little bit, and the cup of water drops out of his hand.
She was there to catch it already. There's a beat when he goes down, and she just turns and looks at Reg.
And you see Reg, and you are the only other person. Reg is currently pulling what look like giant bloody planks of wood off of this guy's leg and looking at you.
Oh, we're in for a wild ride. She's gonna scrub again.
You scrub again, and you move
she's
over.
Gonna go to work.
The two of you hunker down over this individual. His life is in your hands. Both of you, real quick, make me... I'm guessing whoever wants to take the lead here may make a medical aid check. You're going to get a +2 bonus because of where you're at. You're in the medical facility right now.
So that doesn't include my medical kit, right? That's replacing it?
That is... I don't have any problem letting that stack.
Cool.
Okay.
That would be like, yeah,
4.
that would be like having a repair kit and you're also working in a machine shop, which would, I think, give you an additional dice. And then I'll give you a bonus die to with the fact that Tig is helping you if you're taking the lead on this.
So question, I have an ability, can this help? So I have field surgeon. I get a +2 modification to medical aid when treating someone who's about to die from a critical injury.
No shit.
Can I help any more than the +1?
You would need to take the lead
Yeah, I don't know if I should
to
do
get that bonus.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm stacked as you are. I don't actually know what your stats are. But I don't know if we want to metagame that.
I think in
I'm fine.
in this case, what would Tig's mannerisms be? Does Tig seem more confident than usual?
Oh, her like
Tig-
crisis is her entire.
I would say this is the way O'Donnell looked when he first got into that flight chair.
Mm-hmm.
The way Martha looked when she was checking her data pad and checking her assault rifle. The way Isaac looked when Isaac was holding a book or also operating machinery. Tig looks like that now. Like, this is what Tig does.
Then I think you would see Reg starting to go in, stopping, seeing this guy's ragged breathing, seeing Tig absolutely still, and then hand over the tools to her. Doctor?
Let's do some work.
All right, tell me what you need me to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay.
The doctor hands it over to the
Hopefully.
the frontline medical doc.
Medic.
So, in that case, you're taking the lead on it. So you're going to get the +2 bonus from the tools. You're going to get the +2 bonus from the fact that you are in the med bay right now, on top of the 1 die bonus for having the doc help you. And then
my
you're going
+2 from.
and then your +2 because you are literally emergency medicine, trauma surgery at like this kind of pace is what you do.
I have to do some math super fast though. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Do I have that many dice?
16 dice. I have never seen anybody in this RPG roll 16 dice.
Yeah, that was the right call.
11. Holy shit.
I can take care of them in the long haul, but when they're in the shit, we gotta go to Tig.
It's the difference between emergency medical and just like the.
Well,
there's
gonna be
the 2 types of medicals that.
there's
my
actually going to be 2 rolls here.
Oh
So,
boy.
Yeah.
Two.
Because there is the operation, and then there is the stabilizing him, and
Okay.
because
Okay,
like
here
I
we go.
said, the leg is just one of his issues.
My gosh, some of them landed on each other. They can't even. They're not even. Okay, hold on. I'm trying these. I'm gonna roll these 3 again because they were just on top. That's already. We've got 2 successes, and then I'll re-roll these 3.
Great, good for stunting.
4 successes.
4 successes. Amazing. So for a medical check, 4 successes, which again, I want to stress this as somebody, and Sam can attest to this, as somebody who has been playing Free League games, that is a ton of successes. So you go to work. It's going to take a full shift
Yeah.
to do the removal and start working on him to save his life. All kinds of unfortunate chemicals are flowing through his system as a result of the infection. His potassium levels are dangerous right now. There's all kinds of badness happening. But as you are doing the operation, because you rolled that many successes, the first thing that happens is you guys start going in to prepare the leg to removal. Tig, you stop for a second and your eyes widen. You make eye contact briefly, just instinctively with the doc to see if he's seeing it too. Albrecht doesn't see it as he's preparing the leg, but he glances up at you. The 2 of you make eye contact. And Tig, you take a set of tools and reach inside the leg for a second, and you slowly pull out a high caliber bullet.
Oh my god, I do it.
You taking a look at this. It was lodged in the femur. It shattered his femur. It was probably the 2nd round he took to the leg.
Into the dish, on we go. We will deal with that at a later date.
You're starting to get an image now, Tig. He was running, he was shot.
Yeah.
He fell, caused the open fracture of the shin. Doc, make me your medical aid roll. This is going to be the second shift. So this is going to be 6 hours spent working on this guy.
Ooh. And does he get the same 2 from the facility,
9,
2 from
10.
the kit, and 1 from me?
Yes.
I get
So you get an
I
extra
get
5.
12.
Nice.
His life is no longer immediately in danger thanks to Tig.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 successes.
The doctor's so good. Let's do it.
Yeah, the toxicity in his blood is astonishing, but thankfully you guys have enough medical supplies. Doc, he might have taken all kinds of trauma to his internal organs, but you have the medical know-how and the equipment here in this sci-fi setting to save him and to get him under. However, he is going to have to remain unconscious for at least the next week. But after you hook him up to fluids, after 6 hours of working on him, you manage to remove the leg and stabilize him with an astonishing 2 rolls. When it's done and the 2 of you dim the lights a little bit and after you're cleaning your hands, there's just that quiet time as the 2 of you kind of glance over at each other. You've been on the Ilios for 6 hours, and it starts to occur to you the situation that you left behind. You don't know what else is going on or what happened here. But the doc will say over the course of surgery, kind of filled you in on what the doc learned.
Yeah.
And the 2 of you can't help but wonder, what's been going on outside this room for the past 6 hours? We'll find out next Monday night.
Ay, Dios.
I'm high-fiving you to our good doctor. Woo!
Doctor!
Woo!
Wow.
Oh my
If this is a milk run, I've gone non-dairy.
decided I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah, it's
Holy
totally,
moly.
that's totally the, after careful consideration, I have decided not to endorse your park.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay. Nicely done, everybody. Let's go ahead and do this right now
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
before we head out for the nights.
Heck, these mothers.
Yeah, it's been a lot. I would give experience points. I would give experience points just for the amount of discipline you just showed multiple times. During
The show, it was
I know, I
very
saw.
serious. It was
I know,
very
I saw.
serious.
I appreciate you
I
protecting
didn't
the
even
integrity
have
of
a
the game.
face.
I had a face.
I was very, very, very good.
You were good. You were very good. Thank you, Sam.
But I'm still gonna get scared next week, aren't I?
It's
lot of
Halloween.
Yeah, next. I was like, this was the episode to set up what we got going on. So, yep. All right,
Collective groan.
collective groans. Now, do keep in mind, this is not Forbidden Lands, so you don't have to worry so much about needing to train and whatnot, that kind of thing. I let you people, if you'd like to spend experience points in between games, you may do so. Cool. I just ask that it reflects on what happened at the previous game. So, here we go. Everyone gained 1 XP for participating in tonight's game session. Thank you for being here. That includes you, Ox Crew. Did you risk or sacrifice something to further your personal agenda? I don't think anyone did this time. Not yet, anyway. Did you risk your life for your buddy PC? Not this time. Did you challenge or stand up to your rival PC? Not this time. Did you make a panic roll? Nobody made a panic roll. Did you overcome a dangerous event using violent or non-violent action? Yes, I will give everyone an XP for that, because everyone aided. You did help save somebody's life. Definitely constitutes a dangerous event. Did you make significant discovery or revelation? Oh yeah.
Just a few.
Yes, indeed.
Just a scout.
You all may gain an XP for that, because that did happen. Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? I'm going to translate that to, was the role play good? Guess what? Gain an experience point.
Hey.
Everybody had great moments. Did you earn any money? I'm going to probably change that question because that's assuming a Space Truckers campaign play or that kind of thing. In this case, I'll switch it to something else. Yeah, good game tonight, everybody. Well done. That brings a close to episode 4. Episode 5 will be next week. It'll be our Halloween episode. And I want to go ahead and preemptively thank you all so much for being willing to join me on Halloween. All my favorite dark horror games I've ever run have been on Halloween, stretching all the way back to my Trail of Cthulhu game at GNS. So that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Beacon. If you'd like to support the Streampunks, do remember to click on those links and check out Demiplane, our sponsor, and see all the great games that they've got up now that are live and active on their platform. And also, please consider subscribing or following QueueTimes if you've enjoyed this content. QueueTimes is our home. Jake does this for the pure love of it, and we want to send as much support their way, his way, as we possibly can. Until next time, my friends, stay safe and sleep well.